Tell everybody we're live.
Yeah.
No, on your comms, we're live.
He's into the end zone for the touchdown. That's 6. High school football season is here. You're tuned in to Panther Friday Night on Tradio. I'm Will Connerly alongside Tramel Jeffers. The Colleyville Heritage Panthers paying a visit to Red Oak tonight, a season opener and a rematch from last season.
I'm super excited for Kickoff. Last year when they faced off against each other, game-winning field goal for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers. And we're looking for another showdown with a similar result tonight.
Very close game, 32-29. Colleyville able to win it. They were fortunate that Red Oak had a couple of miscues on some snaps on special teams, gave Colleyville some great field position, and then Dax Hebeson had the game-sealing interception to close it on out. Jerry Edwards, the head coach, entering year number 3, and Bodey Weaver, the quarterback, has the keys to this offense. His second year, he's committed now to UTEP, and Coach Edwards says he's playing great right now, but the best thing is, Tramel, he's got some weapons around him that we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but exciting for the quarterback, a full off season again with Coach Edwards, and trying to start this year, albeit district play against a 5A D1 opponent, on the right foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, you mentioned the wide receivers this upcoming season. We lost a couple that were seniors, but now we have a really exciting young wide receiver core, and I'm just so excited to see what they're going to do this year. We saw a little bit of it in the spring game and the preseason scrimmage against Mansfield Legacy, so can't wait to see it here in the regular season.
Absolutely. Samir Johnson, certainly one of those names. Des Bryant, somebody we'll definitely be talking about as well. So many weapons. Gerard Wiley back in the backfield as well for head coach Jerry Edwards, entering year number 3, but it's the second consecutive year that they open up this season with the Red Oak Hawks, who coming into the matchup last year, the talk was, how will Colleyville's secondary hold up, because Red Oak had 3 D1 type receivers. Well, they still have that. They graduated 2 that went on to play Power 4 football, Michigan State and Baylor, but they've still got one of the most explosive receivers in the state. That'll be a big challenge tonight to try to slow down Braden Robinson, who happens to be the son of the head coach for the Hawks, Melvin Robinson, and the 4-star is a pledge to Notre Dame. So a challenge for Colleyville secondary, who lost 3 of their 4 starters from a year ago in that unit, in that secondary on the defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. We're going to have to see, how is this Panthers secondary going to hold up against Braden Robinson? You speak on Braden Robinson, he is electrifying. 4.34 in the 40. He had 1,600 receiving yards last year, 14 total touchdowns. And like you said, he's committed to Notre Dame. He's got 49 Power 5 offers or Power 4 offers. 49. That's insane. And he was only a junior. Now he's entering his senior year. And he's looking to capitalize on what he did last year.
And for head coach Jerry Edwards, we mentioned year 3, but it's a lengthy football resume for Coach Edwards when He ended up going to Texas A&M, started his coaching career back in 2002, bounced around a couple of spots, showed the success that he could have as a head coach, and comes to Colleyville just a couple of years ago. You fast forward to year 3, he's got a couple of sons living in the school district going to Colleyville that are sophomores. It expects that you'd see a head coach like Jerry Edwards be here for a long time, trying to build up this program. Now his family a part of it. They're always a part of it in the game of football, but his son's going to the school as well. Braden, a linebacker, expected to dress for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers as well. And then his other son, a quarterback on the junior varsity team. So that's just going to be exciting to see for him. But also, all he's done is win 20 games and lose 5 in 2 years. So he's put together a pretty good resume here at Colleyville, a program where the expectation is to get to the postseason. And he talked a lot about that in our pregame visit with him. 19 straight years they've made it to the playoffs, albeit not a district game here. He knows that this is a great challenge against Red Oak tonight, and really just a measuring stick for what this season could be if they put a good performance together this evening.
Yeah, like you said, year 3 for Coach Edwards. He's finally comfortable now, 20-5 in 2 seasons. This is the year where he puts his foot down and they make a deep playoff run this year. A lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Both teams here. This is a heavyweight showdown here. So whoever wins this game or whoever loses the game, it's nothing to hold your head down about, because these are 2 very talented football clubs, and they will both probably make deep playoff runs later on down the season.
It's a top 25 matchup according to the preseason rankings. It's coming up next, but first, we'll hear from the head coach, Jerry Edwards, on the other side. You're tuned in to Panther Friday Night on Tradio. All right, now we're going to hear from the head football coach, Jerry Edwards. We sat down with him earlier, and he gives us a preview, not just for this season, but for tonight's affair. Panther Friday Night on Tradio. We have the pleasure of being joined alongside head football coach Jerry Edwards. Coach, thanks for taking the time. And it's year 3 for you at Colleyville. How would you describe the growth of the program in your time here?
Well, I think, it's just getting more and more comfortable with the system. Our kids, when you start day 1, you're not teaching anything, you're just reviewing. But it's because they're familiar with the practice schedule, the things that we do in, day out, the plays, the scheme. And so they're all familiar with that. So, you feel like you start a little bit ahead just because you've laid that foundation over the first 2 years.
And the foundation has kind of been here even before you got here, and you've continued it 19 straight seasons, making the playoffs. What's the mindset entering this season, not just to continue that tradition, but to also try to take the next step?
Well, we spent a lot of time talking about that. Last year, we played Argyle, who's the regional champs, to 7 points. We were playing Anna, which was another team, went 3 rounds deep. It was, 17-10 going into the fourth quarter there, late in that fourth quarter in that game. And so, we just want to get to that point where we're in the conversation and we can elevate our program. And so we spent a lot of time in the offseason talking about what it takes to get to that next level. Year 1, make it to the 4th round. Last year got beat by a really quality opponent, but we're in every game. And so we're right there on the cusp of things. So in the offseason, we just spent a lot of time talking about being a red line team, being able to move our team to a different level. of play, and where we're in a, considered a state title contender or a regional favorite year in, year out. And so we spend a lot of time talking about that.
And so you've had all the fall practices and the camp, and you've had a scrimmage under your belt now. The real thing starts tonight. But how do you feel about your team coming out of the camp and the scrimmage in this year's group, the 2025 Panthers?
Well, I think this group is a little bit different. They really, really, really want it. I think they've really bought into what we're trying to do and how we're trying to coach things. And there's a lot of team leadership on this team, which, they're together. They're kind of like a family. You can just tell, during the off season, the offensive line would get together on their own and do some work, and the D line would get together and do some work on their own. And that was all player led, not coach led. And so you can tell that this team really wants to elevate and get to a point where they're elite. We do have the pieces. We got some really good players in a lot of positions. And so we feel good about it on paper. But, paper doesn't tell the tale. It's what happens between the white lines. And so our kids, I think, are focused and ready to go. The schedule's not any easier than it was last year. We start off with a really, really quality opponent in Red Oak. And so we got to be clicking on all cylinders right out of the gate.
You return your quarterback in Bodey Weaver as well. What's the biggest area of growth you've seen in him from last season to now?
He's playing at an elite level. You can really tell the strides that he's made from last year to this year are really hard to put into words. He's looked really, really good. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's throwing the ball extremely well. He's been a phenomenal leader on the field, getting our offense lined up, and he understands what Coach Snyder, OC, is trying to accomplish. And so it's like having another coach out there. I think, once he committed to UTEP, kind of took some weight off his shoulders, and so he's kind of let loose, and he's playing extremely well right now.
Continuing on the offensive side of the ball, before we flip to the other side, the weapons around Bodey as well, a lot of them back in the fold. Gerard Wiley at running back, Samir Johnson, who carried a lot of your targets down the stretch last season as well. What do you like about the balance, the versatility of the weapons this season around Bodey?
He's got a lot of weapons, and that always helps. There's a lot of different guys that he can distribute the ball to, and so, it doesn't make us one-dimensional, it makes us multi-dimensional. And so, being able to throw the ball out on the perimeter to any of those guys out there, we got Connor Casey, Des Bryant, Lucas Sunwall. You come inside, you got Trevi and Landon Dressel. So a lot of different guys. And, like you mentioned, Samir. So there's a lot of guys that we can spread around the ball to that can make good catches and quality catches. My first year here, we had a strong receiving core, and that really helped. This year as well, I think our receiving core is super strong. And then we have two really good backs in the back end. Like you mentioned, Gerard coming back from a sophomore season, who's got another year of experience under his belt. Gabe Best, who we're expecting to have really, really big things out of this year as well. And then an H tight end guy, kind of versatile guy with his first team All-District last year, Blake Wendler. And so we feel really good about our weapons and, having a great signal caller, a guy that knows how to distribute the ball around the field and take advantage of defenses. And then guys that he feels confident in catching the ball or running the ball. We feel good about it.
That's head football coach Jerry Edwards on the pregame show. We'll hear a little bit more from him in just a moment, but Tramel, you hear him so excited about this offense. We're going to hear him talk about the offensive line coming up in just a moment and the defense, but what stands out to you there from hearing from the football coach during this pregame?
Just the growth of Bodey Weaver. We're going to see it in his senior year. Last year, he had an excellent season, first team All-District. I think we'll see something similar here, but he's going to be even better this year, which is why it's so exciting. And I just can't wait to see how is he going to lead this football team and how far are they going to get this year. And it all starts with the quarterback in Bodey Weaver.
And who's going to protect that quarterback? Well, we hear more from head coach Jerry Edwards when he discusses the offensive line.
About the offensive line, only one starter returning for that group, and just that unit altogether, who do you feel like stepping up? I know we talk about the weapons, but Is that a big key to watch? How much time is Bodey Weaver going to have with a new group of this offensive line, and who's stepping up there in your eyes?
Yeah, a couple new faces on the offensive line. We feel really good about where they've come and their progress. They're only going to get better as the year goes on and they get more playing time. But we're led by Wes DK. DK is a D1 type kid, offensive tackle that kind of gets those guys going and makes sure that they're getting their assignments. And another, like I said, a coach on the field, and he's done a tremendous job with that. And we got Chandler Sampson, who's been out there, got a lot of playing time towards the end of the season, and so he's come a long ways too. And so those two guys are kind of our veteran guys that are kind of helping our rookies come along a little bit.
Let's talk about the defense. I know you've been probably excited to get to this side of the ball. It was interesting looking at this, and you did lose a lot of production, a lot of all-district guys, but the guys you brought back, Dax Hebeson, Hayden West, Demarius Logan, a ton of experience on the defensive side. How important is their leadership going to be this season, helping in new guys, particularly in your secondary?
Yeah, so you talked about it. We got a veteran guy at each level, D-line, linebacker, and safety. And so those guys have been instrumental in helping move along the younger guys that just didn't get a lot of playing time last year. But, we're returning quite a few guys in different positions. But, our front seven, our D-line, we feel like it's going to be a strength for us. All four of those guys. Omar got a lot of playing time last year, Isaiah Omar. And, DeMarche and Demarius, both Logan twins down there. And then Nehemiah as well. And so there's a lot of beef up front, guys with high motors. And then we got another kid that we've been rotating in a little bit, Will Kennedy. High motor kids that can come in and make plays and disruption. And then sitting right behind them is, Dax, who's a 3-year starter. And then Joey Nisbet, who's coming off injuries, who's another playmaker as well. And then Cam Blackston that had a phenomenal year on the JV last year, has really stepped up this offseason and done a great job. So, our front seven, I feel like, is going to be a real big strength for us. The secondary, we did graduate some guys. We do have 2 guys back with some experience. And so, the other 2 guys are competing and getting better. They were varsity guys last year, so they know what it takes to be back there. But, hopefully we get some pressure on the quarterback and those guys don't have to cover for long.
Let's look at the game tonight. Red Oak, same opener as last year. That game was a thriller. What stands out to you about this matchup?
They're athletic. They're going to be well-balanced. They're going to be super athletic. They're going to fly around with the football. I think I've told our kids all week they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth on a game that they, gave away last year. We took advantage of some key issues on special teams and got some 4th down stops late in the game. And our offense was able to move the ball there, start the 4th quarter to get us the win. And so, they went on to have a really highly productive season last season, 2 or 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. And so we got to make sure that we're ready to go because I know they're going to be, it's at their home. Like I said, super athletic football team on both sides of the ball, a lot of D1 type guys. And so we've got to be a well-balanced, well-prepared, well-disciplined football team to beat them.
Final question, Coach. And I know when you get asked this question, the answer probably is, well, we want to win the ball game. When I ask you, hey, what do you want to see from your team in week 1? Not just to win, but out of this group that you can say, okay, we've got some momentum. Is there a few things you're looking for just because it is the first time they're going to be lining up against an opponent trying to beat them?
Yeah, obviously non-district games are, to prepare you for district and eventually the playoffs if, we're blessed to make the playoffs. And so when you go into a non-district game, for me this year, I want to see how our team responds against a quality team right out the gate. I've seen what we've done with amongst ourselves, in the off-season time period. But, offensively, we're going to go out there and be efficient. Are we going to have some explosive plays when we need to be explosive? Are we going to be able to convert the 3rd and 2, the 4th and 1 when we get in those situations? And it may not look pretty all the time, but, do we have that capability of doing that where we can go take that lesson from this game and apply it to next week and then eventually apply it to our district games? And then defensively, can we get lined up? Can we run the right coverages? Do we recognize formation? Are we being good tacklers? Are we giving great effort to the ball? I want to see all those things from our kids because there's going to be things that we correct as we go, but the foundational stuff I want to see tonight.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it. Go Panthers.
That's head football coach Jerry Edwards joining us on the pregame show as we're set for kickoff in just a few moments. Let's look at our keys to the game, Trammell.
Number one, contain the run. This Hawks offense has a three-headed monster at the running back position. Lorenzo Hallman, who made second-team All-District last year, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns. They also have Dylan Johnson at the running back position and Kingston McAdams, who is a Texas Tech commit. And then you have to account for the quarterback. He's the most lethal in their run game in Billy Middleton. He had 988 rushing yards last year and 15 touchdowns.
So those are our keys to the game. Also trying to take care of the football as well. We will step aside for just a moment as the national anthem's being played. Will Connerly alongside Trammell Jeffers getting set for kickoff here in Red Oak, Texas, as the Colleyville Heritage Panthers pay a visit to take on Red Oak for the season opening matchup. High school football season is here, and the fans showing out here in Red Oak. A plenty of crowd here on the near side. We look across the way at the visitor lot as well. The Colleyville Heritage Panther faithful also in full support to try to get a glimpse of what this 2025 campaign is going to be like, Trammell.
Yeah, and you look around, there's still fans coming into the stands. You see them walking across for the Red Oak Hawks, and then you also have our fans. They're coming and they're traveling. So we still have some latecomers. Game hasn't started just yet, but they're on their way. They're ready for some football.
At 7:01 this evening in Red Oak, 83 degrees and sunny. Beautiful weather for this season opening matchup. And sometimes, Trammell, that is not what we get in late August in Texas. But for the Panthers, we will get a glimpse of what their offense will look like to start things off, as Red Oak will kick to begin this ball game, deferring to the second half. And Colleyville going to start with the football. So getting ready to go here in just a moment as Rodolfo Salas is set to kick this one deep. Gerard Wiley and Chase Gibson back to return for the Panthers. And the 2025 season is underway. Gerard Wiley takes it out at the 1-yard line and trying to turn the corner, and he gets chopped down at the 15. Good tackle made there by Jalen Tennyson. And Colleyville going to be inside their own 20 on the opening series of the year.
Really good tackle there. And if he missed him, that was an extra 10 to 15 yards that we could have picked up. But very good tackle.
So the Panthers, ball spotted at the 16-yard line. For the opening series of the year, Bodey Weaver standing in the shotgun next to Gerard Wiley. The handoff to Wiley. Bounces to the outside, gets to the 18-yard line. Coming in to make the stop, Edward King III on the tackle. It'll set up second down just to pick up of a few yards right there.
Pretty good blocking by the offensive line. The hole was there. He just got tripped up, but he picks up some good yardage.
Connor Supankase in the ball game in the 4 receiver set to the bottom of your screen. Bodey Weaver gets the snap. Pressure comes immediately, and he gets dropped in the pocket. Coming in to make the tackle, Desmond Cox, the Memphis commit, swarms the backfield in a big loss. The 2nd and 7 turns into the 3rd and long as Bodey Weaver gets sacked by the linebacker Desmond Cox.
That time there, Desmond Cox, he just beat his man. He got to the quarterback. There was no time for Bodey Weaver to throw the ball, and he gets sacked, and now we're facing a 3rd and long.
Desmond Cox had 145 tackles last year, 15 for loss, and picks up a sack to set up 3rd and 16. Weaver gets the snap. He's going to take it himself and run up the field. Good gain right there. And that's going to set up an interesting decision. 25-yard line and just about a yard to go to pick up the first down. It'll be 4th and 1. Do they roll the dice here?
They're going to go with the punt team. They're just backed up a little bit too far. You don't want to take the chance.
Right, your own 25-yard line to start the season. A lot of times 4th and short. Colleyville pushed the envelope a season ago under Jerry Edwards. And right here, Bodey Weaver is going for it, runs to the right side, and it looks like he picks up enough to move it on forward. So we were thinking perhaps it was going to be a punt. Didn't set up in that new formation despite bringing new guys in. And they pick up the first down on an aggressive call on their own 25-yard line. And now it's a 1st and 10 from the 27.
Like you said, they gambled last year, and they do it here. You don't want to give the Hawks offense the ball that quick. You don't want to start with a 3 and out.
So Weaver in the shotgun, gets the snap, throws it over the middle. Intended target was Samir Johnson. They're in coverage, Jalen Tennyson. And it's incomplete. Trying to hit Johnson, who's their leading receiver that's returning to the team here this year. Had a great season 1 year ago. 25 returners on this team, 8 starters returning on offense. Samir Johnson, one of them, unable to come up with it. Tennyson, good coverage. That'll make it 2nd and 10 from the 27. So Gerard Wiley gets stopped up quickly there by Edward King III. And a limited gain. This picks up a few yards to set up a 3rd and about 7 to go on this opening series of the 2025 campaign for the Panthers.
So far, 2 handoffs for Gerard Wiley and 6 yards. I think they should continue to hand the ball off because on those 3 drop back passes, the pressure's been there every single time. So let's get the run game going.
Bodey Weaver on 3rd down, opts to pass, complete to Samir Johnson. He gets it up to the 35-yard line. And when Colleyville was aggressive on 4th and 1 from their own 25, now it sets up another 4th and short, and it doesn't look like they're going to roll the dice this time because the punter and Landon Dressel comes on out. 4th down and 2 from the 35.
We might see a big punt here. He had a career-high 69-yard punt last year, so he's capable of punting that thing very deep.
And a very dynamic guy back there, Dylan McGee, set to return. But a timeout called first by Red Oak. Maybe they saw something that caused them to call a timeout. But with a 4th and 1 from your own 25, you opt to go for it, perhaps catching Red Oak off guard as well. Now you move up 4th and 2 from your own 35, and they're not opting to go for it here. Your thoughts?
I think you punt the ball here. You've already tried to go for it. You were successful. Now they're ready for it. Just punt the ball. Don't give this Hawks offense a good chance to get good field position. You want to make them work for it. This is a lethal offense. Go ahead and punt it and make them work for their yards.
This Red Oak offense chomping at the bit to get out on the field. Nobody set deep to return. And so Landon Dressel taking over the punting duties as well as kicking. Had that option last year in tandem with Ryan Zucker. And now he is the key with the legs on the special teams this season. And he will punt this one back with nobody back there. It's going to be a friendly Red Oak roll, and it rolls up to about the 27-yard line where the Hawks will take over. So Colleyville, they had the new offensive line, 4 new starters out there. The only returner is the left tackle in West Dalio Cubic, and it was a struggle on the dropbacks to just have that pressure hold up. But credit to Bodey Weaver and his legs on a 3rd and long, setting up a 4th and short. But they opt to punt, and now the Hawks offense gets their first try. Handoff on the first play, and good coverage right there. DeMarshe Logan coming in to make the stop immediately. And Colleyville with nice movement on the initial handoff there to Renard Thomas III, starting in the backfield for Red Oak.
Great move by Logan. He moves his man out the way, and he stops that run for a loss.
Thomas in the backfield with the Weber State commit Billy Middleton, who has to escape the pocket. Pressure came from Demarius Logan, and then he gets pushed out of bounds there by Joey Nisbet. Starting linebacker this year for Colleyville. Had some injuries a year ago, but voted a captain on this team, the Mike linebacker. He's going to be busy tonight with how much Billy Middleton can run. You mentioned it, Trammell, nearly 1,000 rushing yards last year. And it now sets up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, as that Mike linebacker, Nisbet, he's going to have his hands full, and he's going to have to contain Billy Middleton. He's going to have to be that spy as that Mike linebacker.
So Billy Middleton, the Weber State commit, 2,300 passing yards last year, along with 19 touchdowns. Gets the snap, steps up in the pocket, wants to run again, and he gets wrestled down at the 40-yard line. Dax Hebeson came in to make the stop, along with Camden Blackson, a new linebacker on this squad, but it was enough for Billy Middleton to pick up the first down.
I know they picked up a first down there, but I love what I'm seeing from this defensive line. They got the pressure there, but that's just the athleticism from Middleton.
Now a handoff to Thomas, and he just moves up the left side, trying to run in between the tackles. And a solid first down gain, setting up 2nd and about 3 to go. No targets yet for the Notre Dame commit. At the top of your screen, that's Braden Robinson, the 4-star wideout, being covered by the sophomore Eli Woolery on the far side. And some movement came up front on that offensive line. Looks like Clayton Duckworth, a highly touted offensive lineman, number 77, the right tackle, will get charged with the false start. That'll make it 2nd and 7. 6:10 to go in this opening quarter. And they move back to the 42-yard line.
The penalties are going to be a big key for the Panthers in this game. They have to be the most disciplined team to win this football game.
So Middleton brings Robinson in motion, drops back, has time, fires it over the middle. He was looking for Braden Robinson. Close in coverage there was Will Hummert. And it sets up 3rd down. So the first look to Robinson. It's going to be interesting to see the type of coverage. They rotate the safety Hummert toward his way. Hayden West, the D1 commit, playing on the opposite side, who was a corner last year. And this secondary navigating, but close coverage there, at least on the lineups, with the sophomore Woolery, a guy who nearly has 50 D1 offers lined up right next to him. But they're paying close attention. Multiple defenders coming this way. 3rd and 7. Middleton gets the snap. It's a screen, and coming in to make the stop, Joey Nisbet. Great play, reads the screen like a book, and that'll set up 4th down. Thomas had plenty of green in front of him, but Nisbet read it well, and the Mike linebacker, a solid grade on that first series for Joey Nisbet.
And that's something that this Hawks team loves to do. They love those short screen passes, and Nisbet read it like a book, like you said. He sped to it, and he made the play. And now this Hawks offense is punting the football.
Joey Nisbet, just 3 games, 12 tackles last year. Now a captain, had to battle through some injuries. And a short punt trickles down. Will Hummert not going to have a return. And it's going to end up being an incredible punt at that. You thought it was short for the moment, but it was a friendly Red Oak roll all the way down to the 1-yard line, Trammell. And now Colleyville, if you thought they were backed up at their own 15-yard line on the opening series, well, make it their own 1-yard line a concern with all that pressure Red Oak had on that opening series as they'll try to get out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
And I just think this is probably home field advantage. That's twice in the special teams that the Hawks have gotten the bounce go their way. And now this Panthers offense is backed up at their own 1-yard line. Let's get a handoff and let's get a couple yards on this 1st down.
So a couple drives and a couple punts so far. 3rd drive of the game, 2nd for Colleyville, and Bodey Weaver lined up in the shotgun next to Gerard Wiley. Weaver gonna pass. Pressure comes. He throws it far side. Intended target there, Cash McMahon. And the senior wide receiver out of his outstretched arms there toward the far side.
Again, that Hawks pressure is getting to Bodey Weaver. If he had a split second more, he would have hit that pass. But he just didn't have enough time, and he misfired by a little bit.
So a timeout taken by the Panthers. Red Oak took one before that 4th down punt. Now the Panthers want to talk about it, and it's a very critical point of the game. A, you're trying to avoid the safety at all costs. B, you're not trying to punt from your own end zone as well. So what type of plays do you have in your playbook to try to operate, try to move this offense forward and get some breathing room? Jeremy Snyder, the offensive coordinator, 3rd year with the program, came over with Coach Edwards, 2nd year as the offensive coordinator, and we'll see what they can cook up here. This is a interesting thing. I don't think Colleyville fans are feeling too good about being backed up now 2nd and 10 at their own 1-yard line.
Oh, no, you're never feeling good when you're backed up at your own 1-yard line. It's 2nd and 10, your own 1-yard line. Let's get a handoff, a single back dive up the middle. Let's pick up about 2 to 3 yards, and then we can see what we can do on 3rd down. But you got to pick up some type of yardage here on 2nd down.
Under 5 to go in the opening quarter. Bodey Weaver in the shotgun right next to Gerard Wiley. He play actions and throws a short pass looking for McMahon again, and it hits down on the turf before Rashad Malone tried to pick it up, number 13 for the Red Oak Hawks, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That time again, we just misfired, and we don't pick up any yardage, so now we're facing a 3rd and long on your own 1-yard line. Let's see what Coach Edwards has cooking up right here.
2 receivers split to either side. Weaver in the gun once again. Another play action. He throws it over the middle looking for McMahon. Weaver gets dislodged down to the turf, laying down on his back. He targeted the senior wideout on all 3 passes, all incomplete on that drive. And Colleyville starting at their own 1-yard line, set up with a 3 and out. And now the dangerous Dylan McGee back to return, one of the more dynamic players that Red Oak has, and he is lined up to return around the 30-yard line. So even with no return, it's going to be good field position. But Dylan McGee, lightning in a bottle back there as well. Very dynamic. So critical special teams execution needed here for Colleyville. Dressel gets the punt off. It's a decent one, caught at the 41-yard line, and now McGee looking for the return. He cuts up the field before he is dropped, and good special teams coverage there by Lucas Sunwall to make the tackle. Still plus territory for Red Oak. 2 drives, 2 punts for Colleyville, and now Red Oak with a great punt. They flip the field and they start in good field position here for their second series.
And here on first down, you just want to win. You don't want them to pick up any big yardage. Let's get a stop. They're probably going to hand the ball off, hold them to a yard or a negative gain here.
So Middleton trying to get the snap off, and weren't able to in time, so they're going to be backed up 5 yards, make it 1st and 15. They move back to the 35, and you mentioned the deep running back room that Red Oak has. Now it's Dalen Johnson standing next to Billy Middleton.
Dalen Johnson, he's a guy who's violent when he comes to running the football. He runs a 4.48. He's a violent runner. He finishes all the time.
And stepping up in the pocket and evading one tackler and Nisbet, then firing it down the field. It is complete. Will Humbert eventually makes the tackle, but not before Darius Sanders has a massive play. Billy Middleton extending the play, and 1st and 15 was no problem because they're up to the 10-yard line.
That time the pressure gets there again, but the athleticism of Billy Middleton, he escapes it, extends the play, and he's going to find a wide open receiver there.
Dalen Johnson, the running back. Middleton with the snap. Pressure comes again. Looks toward the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended coverage down there was Christian Totten.
Pass intended for Robinson falls incomplete on the outside. Number 21, Eli Woolery on the coverage. Take it down and 10 for the Hawks from the Panthers 12-yard line.
With 3:48 to go in the opening quarter. Middleton drops back, looks far side again, and that one's caught for a touchdown. So Red Oak strikes first as Billy Middleton fires it. And the touchdown there for a man who found the end zone quite a bit a year ago. Braden Robinson cashes in. He caught 15 touchdowns last year, and the Notre Dame commit hauls that one in from about 12 yards out, and it's a touchdown for Red Oak. They're up 6-0.
Yeah, that time it was just too easy for him. That's one of the easiest touchdowns that he's going to get this season. And like you said, he finds the end zone every single week.
And the extra point up and through the uprights. Rodolfo Salas knocks it through. It's 7-0. Red Oak has the lead. 3:43 to go as they take advantage of the short field. And we will step aside for a quick break. You're watching Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Station Week will take place September the 2nd through the 5th across all.
From your first paycheck to your first home, starting your own business or celebrating your retirement, we're here for all of life's important moments. At Simmons Bank, our modern banking solutions make managing your finances effortless and efficient, so you can focus on what matters most. Simmons Bank, proud supporter of the moments that matter. SimmonsBank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all accounts subject to approval. From your first paycheck to your first home.
Back with you on Panther Friday Night on Tradio. 7-0, Red Oak has the lead alongside Tremel Jeffers. I'm Will Connerly. Colleyville having it at their own 1 yard line, unable to get any yardage, and Gerard Wiley with the fair catch. Colleyville will now not have to start at their own 1 yard line. That was the challenge in the story there. Colleyville, first series, they come out, they punt. Red Oak punts, then it's a great one. Colleyville's backed up at their own 1, 3 straight passes. Who, at the time we mentioned Cash McMahon, and Trevi Prycia was actually now number 3, just learning that news a moment ago, so apologies for that mix-up. However, the intended target on those plays, unable to haul those in and get anything off. They punt it, short field position for Red Oak, and they take advantage of it going to Braden Robinson. So now the third drive for Colleyville. We'll see what they can do now, down 7-0. Connor Supacase was in motion, but it's a quick hit to the outside. Jalen Tennyson there to make the tackle. Samir Johnson picks up a couple on the reception over on the far side.
That time, they just wanted to get a quick throw for a couple of yards so they can get this offense going and rolling and get Bodey Weaver in a rhythm.
3 and change in the opening quarter after the 4-yard pickup to Samir Johnson. Des Bryant Jr. now in the game on the far side. And Bodey Weaver stepping up in the pocket, nearly falls down, then keeps going, makes a man miss across the 40-yard line. Bodey Weaver moving the chains with his legs, and a first down for the Panthers.
Oh, man, what a move by Bodey Weaver. The nice pump fake in the air. He was past the line of scrimmage. The linebacker fell for it, and he picks up some more yardage.
Yeah, typically you have to teeter-totter around the line of scrimmage to fake like you're going to go do something, but he did it a few feet past it, and it works out. 1st and 10 for Colleyville. 2:40 to go in the opening quarter. Weaver, quick hit. Connor Supacase catches and falls down. Dylan McGee was close in coverage, but another quick hit to the outside for Colleyville. Bodey Weaver maybe realizing after that first drive that he's got to get the ball out of his hands rather quickly, and he's got talented weapons on the perimeter to do it.
Yeah, those short yardage passes on first down, those equal handoffs, and then get you some honest yards going forward.
Gerard Wiley on the handoff. Shakes one defender until he is dropped by Courtney Gordon Jr., who had 135 tackles last year. He and Desmond Cox combined for about 20 tackles a game last year, and those two linebackers read it, but a decent setup here now for Colleyville after the positive movement. 3rd and 2 from midfield. And 2 backs in the backfield. They give the first opportunity to Gabe Bess, and no gain for him. Stopped right at the 50-yard line. So they showcased the first 2-back formation, and they brought in Gabe Bess, another running back, the junior on the roster, alongside another junior in Gerard Wiley. But instead, no gain. Sets up 4th and 2 from the 50. They'll bring out the punt unit. So
I'm not too mad at the decision. You're at the 50-yard line. You want to punt that offense deep into their own territory, and you want to make them drive the length of the field. So not a bad decision there by Coach Edwards. I like it.
They didn't have to drive the field last time, starting at the 37 of the Panthers, but now Colleyville punting from midfield. And that punt drops down around the 25-yard line. It trickles to about the 21, and that's where Red Oak will start. So 3 drives, 3 punts for the Panthers. They had some positive things on that drive. They got a couple of receptions to Connor Supacase and Samir Johnson on the outside and Gerard Wiley, but the front 7 for Red Oak really causing some problems, at least for the guys up front for the Panthers. No explosive plays we've seen just yet. Just one shot we saw down the field on the opening series. So we'll see what Colleyville could do now, trying to stand up on defense. 40 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Third drive for Red Oak starts with a big drop back for Billy Middleton, and he throws it out of play. Pressure coming there from Colleyville. Camden Blackston, the junior linebacker, got in there after Middleton, which he's known to use those legs, rolled out and had to throw it away.
And that time, that was just great coverage by the secondary. Nobody was open. Great attention to detail there, and now you force a 2nd and long.
So 4 showing on the front. And Middleton hands off to Thomas, and Thomas is going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Good play made there by Camden Blackson with the tackle for loss.
Camden Blackson on that play, he shot out of a cannon he shot out of the hole like a cannon, makes the tackle, and now this Hawks offense is facing a 3rd and long.
If you're looking at the second level of this defense, Joey Nisbet at linebacker, and then you look at the other side, okay, Dax Ebeson, your lead returning tackler, and then Camden Blackson. I mean, these linebackers have played really well against one of the more dynamic quarterbacks they're going to have to face. 3rd and 12 from their own 19. Middleton throws over the middle and nearly intercepted. They were looking for Braden Robinson. In came Hayden West, and the safety deflects it away. Good defense by the D1 commit. And Hayden West, a pledge to UTSA, and he knocks it away from the Notre Dame pledge, Braden Robinson, and it sets up a 4th down and a punt upcoming again for Noah Santos, who pinned Colleyville back to the 1-yard line. Don't think that's going to be a possibility here, as he's lined up at his own 5 to punt this one away.
That time, great coverage by Hayden West. First team All-District versus first team All-District. That is going to be an entertaining matchup to watch throughout this game.
It really is, and it's dropped up there, and it's going to be a safety because Noah Santos, we saw that a little bit last year with the bad snaps on the punts. It's a reason Colleyville won the game a year ago, and it's a reason why they get on the board first here in this season opener. A bad snap on the special teams. Santos got dropped in the end zone. 2 points for Colleyville.
And that all started with the decision to punt the football when they got stopped on 3rd and 2. Great decision by Coach Edwards, and the defense gets a crucial stop. Special teams gets a stop, and now they get 2 points on the board because of a muff snap.
That is a 7-2 ball game on the board right now. Not sure what you had for what the first scoring play for Colleyville was going to be this year. Maybe a Gerard Wiley touchdown, a Bodey Weaver rush for a score. No, a safety, the first score for the Panthers here this season.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see a safety coming. That wasn't on my bingo card at all. But hey, we'll take the points. We get the ball back too, so fine with the result.
And the defense, you know, it's interesting. It was such a great play by Hayden West to set that up. I know the punt set it up where they were in negative territory, but Braden Robinson in open field is when opponents typically just hold their breath. And right there, it was a tough sequence. Hayden West rose to the occasion, one of the most slept-on players in North Texas, and you could see why right there, coming in and causing that incomplete pass to then set up Colleyville scoring for the first time. So the Panther offense now going to get it for a 4th time. They'll try to change fortunes now. 3 drives and 3 punts for the Panthers offense.
Yeah, they got to get something going. They started to move down the field on that 3rd drive. They were completing some short passes. They got a couple of handoffs going. I would like to see them continue to get that run game going and then implement some of those short passes as well. And that'll open up some deep shots later on down the line.
Well, after the safety, it's kicked back and out of play around the 23-yard line. We were worried. Hey, Noah Santos, the net on his punting average was brilliant. He pinned the Panthers at the 1-yard line. Next time Red Oak needs to punt, it turns into points for the Panthers on a safety. And then to add insult to injury, after that, they kick it out of bounds on the ensuing kickoff, so a flag comes out, and Colleyville will have even better field position. But it is very reminiscent to the game last year. For those that don't remember, Colleyville down double digits in the season opener a year ago, and they get the ball. It wasn't a safety. They actually end up getting it around inside the 10-yard line. Their goal to go, and they score on a similar occasion when they struggled to execute on special teams won the game ultimately with the field goal as well, and it was a big factor obviously in Colleyville scoring. It's been a big factor the whole game. Red Oak's first punt helped them score a touchdown. Then their next punt ends up hurting them in a way where they actually surrender points.
Yeah, so the special teams for Red Oak is helping and hurting them. Like you say, it got them points on the board, and then it caused them some points as well.
So now Colleyville going to set up at the 50-yard line after the penalty, kicking it out of play, and Samir Johnson with a quick bubble screen to the outside and hits a spin move out of bounds, pushed out by Dylan McGee, but a nice play there by Samir Johnson to pick up some good yardage.
Samir Johnson, he's a guy that the Panthers love getting those short passes to. He can really turn it upfield if he gets some good blocks.
Just corkscrews his way for 3 yards, but with the inability, at least early, to run in between the tackles, these quick hits to the outside. Here's a deep hit to the outside, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there by Red Oak. 3 defenders in the area as Colleyville was looking for Connor Supacase.
And that time, Jalen Tennyson on the coverage. He was there step by step, broke up the play. Excellent coverage, good throw, but great defense by Tennyson.
So 3rd down and 7, 11:31 to go. Colleyville has it at the 47-yard line. They trail 7-2. Bodey Weaver gets rid of it quickly. Deep shot down the field, and it's a touchdown for the Panthers. Connor Supacase, a 47-yard touchdown reception, and the Panthers take an 8-7 lead.
What a route by Supacase. Beat his man, wide open, touchdown. The Panthers take the lead, and now we are rolling. Momentum is on our side.
Connor Supacase with the 47-yard touchdown reception. The point after there by Landon Dressel is no good. So Colleyville with an 8-7 lead. They go ahead, miss the PAT, but they're up by 1 in the early stages of this second quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Wednesday, September the 17th, our Red Oak ISD staff and students are encouraged to wear college shirts that day. The Ellis County College and Career Fair will take place at the Washington Civic Center. Come visit with over 100 representatives of participating colleges. Hey, Wednesday, September the 17th.
We're back with you, Panther Friday Night on Tradio. 3 plays, 50 yards on the drive, capped off by a 47-yard touchdown reception from Connor Supacase. Hauls it in. Great ball by Bodey Weaver. Connor Supacase took the top off the defense, ran past the secondary, and Tremel, you said, what a route right there as he beats his man caught in stride, well executed. You were wondering where were the explosive plays, couple quick hitters and incompletions early for Bodey Weaver, but he showcases that big arm right there. A 47-yard touchdown for the Panthers. The ensuing kickoff will start Red Oak at the 25.
Yeah, Super Casey, he gives his man a little shake and bake, gets wide open, scores the touchdown, and now, like I said, momentum is on our side. That's all this offense needed, was that one big play, and now their confidence is all through the roof.
So Red Oak back on offense. Their fourth drive. Last time out was a 3-and-out and then a punt that afforded a safety. And there's Nehemiah Ole-Iwola there to make the tackle. The senior defensive lineman able to gobble up the running attempt there by Renard Thomas III, just a 1-yard gain.
And those big swallows on first down are crucial because now we're looking at a 2nd and long. If you win here on 2nd down, now they're facing the 3rd and long. So this 2nd down is going to be crucial right here.
Looks like solo coverage there. Eli Woolery and Braden Robinson. Billy Middleton stepping up in the pocket. Ole-Iwola tries to get him. Then he's wrestled down eventually. And the Colleyville Heritage Panthers getting in on the action. Isaiah Omar, big reason why Billy Middleton goes down to the ground. A man who was called up midway through the season last year. And he ends up getting Billy Middleton down to the turf behind the sticks. It's going to be a 3rd and 11.
Which isn't an easy thing to do. You saw Billy Middleton back there squirming around and moving around trying to escape, but there was nowhere to go for him. And great pursuit by this defensive line. Everybody was there.
Middleton drops back 3 steps. Omar with the pressure again. Middleton launches it down the field, and it's incomplete. Woolery with the coverage on Braden Robinson, and it's going to be pass interference against the sophomore defensive back who had the solo coverage there on the Notre Dame commit. And it's Red Oak who will get a first down automatically after the pass interference penalty. A dagger if you're the Panthers right there.
It is a dagger because, again, the defensive line got there. They flustered Middleton. Middleton gets out the pocket, really has nowhere to go. He underthrows the ball. I really don't like that call because that pass was not catchable at all, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we get hit with the penalty.
And that's what can happen a lot of times on those underthrown balls. Braden Robinson coming back to get it. His progress clearly was impeded by Eli Woolery, but it is that gray area. And one thing that we go back to, head coach Jerry Edwards told us this week, I really like our front. I really like our defensive line, our linebackers, our front 7. I think we'll get pressure on the quarterback. Secondary, work in progress. You've got Hayden West. You've now got Eli Woolery, a sophomore, in there thrown into the mix. Similar to how Chase Gibson was thrown into the mix last year against all these talented Red Oak receivers. And one thing he said is, we just hope they don't have to cover for too long. That's been the case for most of the day. Colleyville has afforded the pressure, but it's a 1st and 10 after the pass interference. And Middleton with a moving pocket. He fires one toward the sideline, and it's in. Chase Gibson nearly takes it away, but instead a reception there for Jordan McEwen and a beautiful ball put right on the sideline, Trammell, to pick up a first down because Chase Gibson nearly had the interception.
Oh, what a nice throw by Middleton. If that ball is underthrown just by another inch, that is getting intercepted. Unfortunate for the Panthers on that play.
Middleton, pressure comes again. He wants the shot down the field, looking for Christian Totten, and it goes out of play.
And we're seeing a lot of single coverage from this Panthers defense, and so far, they're winning their share of the battles. Like I said earlier in the pregame, let them beat you. Don't let Braden Robinson beat you. Let these other guys beat you.
And Braden Robinson really hasn't beat Colleyville yet. And I know we said stop Braden Robinson. Maybe a better thing to say would be slow down. You know he's going to get his at the end of the day with single coverage. Looks like they're going to pick up a flag that was thrown on the field on that play. 9:28 to go, and it incomplete pass. They were looking for Totten. Now it's Chase Gibson again, cornering coverage over on Totten, and Woolery having the assignment of Braden Robinson, sagging off him just a little bit. As Middleton has to spin out of the pocket once again. Pressure was coming, and he throws it out of play. This pressure is coming, and it's coming quickly. That time, credit to Marius Logan getting to the quarterback.
They're making him uncomfortable every drop back. He's looking for his first read. It's never there, and it forces him to run and get flustered out of that pocket. And that time, he just had to throw the ball away.
And he's had to throw it away quite a bit. And with the loose coverage off Braden Robinson and the safety help there with Hayden West, you see they're going to be okay with the short passes. They want to eliminate the deep balls. And to combat that, they are getting pressure on Middleton. Once again, the pressure is coming, and Middleton has to throw it away once more. Coming in, Camden Blackson, the linebacker, makes a great decision to go after the quarterback, and a second consecutive ball thrown out of bounds. The Colleyville defense, you know, head coach Jerry Edwards, a defensive guy. He's got to be pleased with the alignment and assignment on that series there for the Panthers.
I think they're starting to understand. Middleton, he's keyed in on that right side. He's looking for that first read on that right side. It's not there, and every single time it's not there, he rolls to the left out of the pocket, and there's nothing there when he rolls out. So great pursuit by this defensive line again.
So Will Hummert back to return, and Noah Santos gets the punt off. That's something to note, and he immediately gets dropped. Will Hummert getting pummeled there on the coverage. It was Rashad Malone who came down to meet him. But after Noah Santos, who had nearly, a 70-yard punt or so earlier in the game, pins Colleyville at their own 1-yard line. He then has a snap that is dropped down, and it's a safety. Colleyville gets on the board. They get the ball back in a 47-yard reception, and then they force Red Oak to punt once again. So Colleyville getting the ball back and now ahead by a point with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. They'll start at their own 16-yard line. And Gerard Wiley looking for room up that right side, and he gains nothing, maybe a half yard being generous, but Gerard Wiley stuffed up on the run.
Yeah, that was a great pursuit right there by Jeffrey Killings. He was there, he disrupted the play, and there was just no running lane for him.
So Trevi Prysha and Samir Johnson on the near side. Connor Supacasey out with Blake Wendler, the tight end. Play action. Bodey Weaver stepping up in the pocket, and he gets put down to the turf. Big sack made by Red Oak. The Hawks' Jeffrey Killings comes in to sack Bodey Weaver. Both these teams' pass rush has been impressive in a game that saw 12 total sacks a year ago. Something you maybe expected, and it's 3rd and 15 for the Panthers.
Yeah, that time they just sent Jeffrey Killings there on the blitz. That's back-to-back plays that he's made for a loss. And now the Panthers are facing a 3rd and 15. Here you just want to get something short, pick up some yards, and then bring the punt team on the field.
So Bodey Weaver next to Gerard Wiley, Samir Johnson, Trevi Prysha lined up on the near side, and Bodey Weaver looking down the field. Samir Johnson with the hookup, a 20-yard gain and a first down for the Panthers.
That time, the Hawks defense just played too soft. Samir Johnson, he finds the soft spot in the zone, and he picks up the first down. Tough catch, too. It was a little bit thrown behind him. Great catch, and now we're moving the chains.
Samir Johnson, 302 receiving yards last year. The lead wideout on this team from a year ago. And a 20-yard pickup sets Colleyville 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Gerard Wiley trying to turn the corner, and he is dropped by Courtney Gordon Jr.
It's there. That hole is there, and that C gap. He can't quite get there yet, but as this game continues and he gets more touches, he's going to break one loose. I'm telling you, it's right there.
Gerard Wiley, plenty of speed. That's one thing we know about the back. No back here, though. Empty set with 5 out wide for Colleyville. And Bodey Weaver, a designed run with everybody spread out. Weaver tiptoeing to the outside, avoids the hit from Desmond Cox. Wise business decision there, as the Memphis commit was looking to wrap up Bodey Weaver before he gets out of bounds, picks up a few, and sets up 3rd and short.
Yeah, design run there. The Hawks defense sniffed it out. Cox was right there. And like you said, great business decision by Bodey Weaver. You do not want to get hit by that guy.
So 6 and change to go in this second quarter. Colleyville leading 8-7. You may wonder how they got 8. They did not go for 2. A safety, and then a touchdown missing the extra point. The touchdown came 47 yards out from Bodey Weaver to Connor Supacase on a 3-play drive, and Colleyville going to burn another timeout, so they'll just have 1 remaining here in this first half. So on the action so far for Colleyville, when you look at this ball game for the Panthers, they start with the ball, they punt. Red Oak exchanges a punt. Colleyville gets the ball back and has to punt it away once again. And they started that drive a 3-and-out from their own 1. That set up a touchdown to Braden Robinson just from up close, about 12 yards out. Number 2 gets the touchdown for the Hawks. That started the scoring. On the ensuing drive, Colleyville punted. Red Oak had a 3-and-out. They punted, but it was a safety. Colleyville put 2 on the board, and then they responded as well, starting at the 50 because it was a safety plus a legal procedure for kicking it out of bounds, and they have a 47-yard touchdown to Connor Supacase. Forcing a punt after that, the defense giving Colleyville the ball back. And now they have it a 3rd and 3 from the 42-yard line. And burning a timeout, just 1 left for Jerry Edwards and company. And Gerard Wiley looking to get through that hole. He just picks up a yard. Rashad Malone comes in to make the tackle. And 4th down and a couple to go. Interesting because they've had 4th and 2 from the 35. Now they have 4th and 2 from the 43-yard line, and they've opted to punt multiple times on 4th and short after the most aggressive decision was made on the opening series to go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, this time you have to punt the ball. You have 5 minutes, 40 seconds. You might get the ball back before halftime, so go ahead and put your defense on the field. They've gotten some stops over these last couple of drives.
Landon Dressel doesn't opt to punt it back to Dylan McGee, standing to return. It goes out of bounds. 5.5 minutes left. Red Oak will get the ball back. And heading into halftime, like you mentioned, 5.5 minutes to go. Got a handful of timeouts remaining as well. And so plenty of time for them. For Colleyville, same thing goes. And when you look ahead, second half, Red Oak going to start with the football. So if you're Red Oak, they're going to try to parlay the end of the first half to start the second half.
Yeah, they're going to try to do something that we call double dip. They're going to try to get some points before the half, and then they're going to try to score again when they get the ball back to start the second half.
Robinson in motion, instead a run, and it's a good one. Continuing to push the pile forward was Renard Thomas. Will Hummert eventually helps bring him down with a slew of Panthers, but an impressive first down carry. And it will set up second and about 3 yards to go from the 37-yard line. Middleton, quick hit to Braden Robinson. And he cuts up the field before Hayden West makes the solo stop. It's a first down for the Hawks.
That time, just too much space given. He was wide open. I don't know if it was some miscommunication in the secondary, but he was wide open, and he picks up a good chunk of yards, and they're moving the chains.
Robinson in motion once again, and they're going to give it to him with plenty of space. And Robinson tackled once again by Hayden West. A couple of solo stops for Hayden West on Braden Robinson. Hayden West, 3 plays where he's made. He had that big pass defense as well earlier in the game against Robinson.
Now, that's a big play. People watching the broadcast might think that's just a regular tackle, but that is Jaden Robinson. He normally breaks those free.
And so Colleyville will use their final timeout. 3:56 to go in this first half. Quarter number 2, 3 minutes, 56 seconds. Colleyville leading 8-7 here in this season opener. We thank you so much for tuning in to Panther Friday Night on Tradio. Drop in on the YouTube comments. Let us know where you're listening from, and we'll try to give you a shout out on the broadcast this evening. But thanking everybody tuning in to this season opener here this evening. Colleyville with the lead, but Red Oak driving, and they use their final timeout. In Red Oak, it says 3 timeouts on the board. However, Trammell, pretty positive Red Oak used a timeout earlier in this ballgame. They should have 2 left unless they waved that one away. But anyway, Colleyville out of timeouts. We know that to be the case.
I think that was I think they used the timeout early in that first quarter, but that might be some home field advantage cooking going on here.
We shall see. 3:56 left in quarter number 2. And the play going to be blown dead. Left tackle movement early up front. And the flag comes in from the far side. Eventually coming in. And Romeo Jackson going to be tagged with the penalty, it looks like. With just under 4 minutes left in this first half.
The Panthers are winning that penalty battle. Outside of the pass interference call, they don't have another penalty.
Yeah, the one pass interference call, and that certainly was one. If you're Colleyville, you would put in the debatable department, but the pre-snap penalties, that's been Red Oak. They've had 3 of them.
Yeah, they're killing themselves, shooting themselves in the foot.
So 2nd and 10, Middleton dropping back. He has to escape once again and tries to make a move. He does make one man miss before he's pushed out by Joey Nisbet. He broke Will Kennedy, but then Nisbet gets him down.
Nice solid tackle there by Nisbet. It is not easy to bring Middleton down. Middleton's a big guy. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. Not easy thing to do.
Couple of top 25 teams, according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football, in the preseason rankings battling here for the season opener, and it's a 3rd and 6 from the 44, and a handoff right away. Joey Nisbet has come to play today. Renard Thomas III is stopped up, and Joey Nisbet voted a team captain, and you can see why. The middle linebacker making plays left and right. Another incredible play. He shoots into the backfield for a big loss.
Yep, that's exactly why he's one of the leaders on this program. Great pursuit. Shot out of the hole like a cannon, makes the big play, and now this Hawks offense has to punt the football. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to get the football back with a chance to score before halftime.
Another high snap, but it's Noah Santos who gets it off, and fair caught at the 11 there by Will Hummert. So the Panthers offense comes out. They are out of timeouts, however. 2:42 left, 2-minute drill time. how can you speed some things up, try to get to at least field goal range, put points on the board before halftime. They obviously showed they could score in a hurry. They had a 3-play touchdown drive earlier in this ball game. So we'll see what they can do and just how aggressive they will be in this situation because they are backed up at their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, like you said, 2-minute offense. Expect to see some short passes, trying to get out of bounds, and expect this Hawks defense to play a little bit soft.
So Bodey Weaver standing next to Gerard Wiley. Looks like he'll be the bell cow back there. He's had almost all the reps, and a deep shot down the field. Looking for it all was Bodey Weaver, and it's incomplete. Intended target was a man he hooked up with on a 47-yard touchdown earlier in the game, but out of the reach of Connor Supacasey on that try.
Oh, Supacasey, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be our deep threat guy down the line this season. I am so excited to see more of this guy.
So Gerard Wiley lined up out wide, and it is a reception caught by Lucas Sunwall, and he's pushed out. First catch for Lucas Sunwall, the sophomore wideout, talented sophomore receiving core, along with Des Bryant as well and many others.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Here on third down, the clock is still moving. They're in a tricky situation here. You don't want too much time going off the clock, but you also don't want the clock to stop if you don't pick up a first down here. So let's see what Coach Edwards has dialed up.
And Red Oak recognizing that, and Melvin Robinson, head coach for Red Oak, looks like he wants to take a timeout and stop the clock himself, recognizing, okay, 3rd and 6. They're backed up in their own territory. Stop the clock here, and maybe they can get the ball back with some time to play and have a 2-minute drill of their own. It also gives Colleyville an opportunity to dial something up, 3rd and 6. What they can do, but you've seen the variety, at least, of plays that have been put together. Running the football, it has been a dual threat back there, Bodey Weaver and Gerard Wiley. If they want to opt to keep the clock moving with 2 on the dot. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Look for Bodey Weaver to look for something down the middle. That middle has opened up at times, and I think it can open up right here. But if they do pick up something in the middle, they're going to have to hurry because time is ticking once they make that play.
Now all the officials come together. There was just a timeout as we understood, and now another stoppage.
Not sure what's going on here.
Unless they just wanted an extended timeout. We'll keep it with you here, though, on Tradio. It's Panther Friday night. On Tradio, the first chapter of a season of broadcasts you can hear all year long. Every Panther Friday night will broadcast here on Tradio as they make their home opener next week against the Royals of Richland. 8-7 the lead for Colleyville. Compass Church, a great sponsor. We shout them out. You see them on the left side of the screen sponsoring this broadcast here in the second quarter. 2 minutes to go. 3rd down and 6. Colleyville with the ball on their own 17-yard line. Bodey Weaver, empty set, gets rid of it quickly, and he was looking for Samir Johnson. Close coverage there, and it's incomplete, and it will force Colleyville to boot it away.
And that time he tested the 4-star recruit in Dylan McGee. He's got 16 Division I offers, one of the best cornerbacks in the nation, one of the best in the state. Almost got him, just ran out of space on the field.
So 1:55 to go after the incompletion, looking for Johnson on the sideline. 4th and 6, Colleyville will punt. And so Landon Dressel For the 5th time this first half, will have to boot it away. And he does, and it bounces out just shy of the 45-yard line, so good field position. But Landon Dressel's been busy. 5 punts for Colleyville in the first half on 6 drives, but the one drive did do damage. They scored a 47-yard touchdown along with a safety on a Red Oak punt that went awry, and you have a Colleyville 8-7 lead.
Now, both punters are getting some work in today. They're going to have a lot of film to show on huddle after tonight's game.
And some of it, some good punts, of course. You saw the deep one from Noah Santos. So now Red Oak, the 6th drive for them in this first half, and they just do a run right up the middle and not much doing on the carry. Joey Nisbet, once again, he's been all over the field here in tonight's ball game, and they're on the run from Renard Thomas. He's in there amongst many Panthers to bring him down. Middleton, pressure coming again, looking to get rid of it. Now uses his legs, launches one down the field, but it's well out of play. Intended target, if you want to call one, Brandon Bagley was there, but it was well out of bounds, and the pressure once again getting to Billy Middleton.
I mean, this is like the 20th pressure of the game. They're getting there every single play. And it's so difficult to bring Billy Middleton down. He's so dynamic. He's so athletic. But these pressures are going to turn into sacks later on down the line when we play different opponents. Nobody's as athletic as Billy Middleton.
Demarius Logan in this game last year, he had 12 quarterback hurries in one game and a sack. Middleton can evade many sacks. He tries to get out of the pocket here and eventually gets tackled at the 41-yard line. Will Kennedy, there to make the tackle. So it's 4th down. A timeout going to be called by Red Oak. I believe that should be their 3rd and final timeout.
It's got to be the 3rd, but the scoreboard is showing they still have 3 more. But I think that's the final one.
Appears to be the case that both teams are out of timeouts with 44 seconds left. In this second quarter, Red Oak to receive to begin the second half. And Red Oak, a team, they went 7-5 a year ago. Within a tough district, they went 4-2. They obviously had a short run in the postseason going 7-5, but beat Cedar Hill. They had some big wins. Ellison, Joshua, Cedar Park, a talented team. Playing a lot of close games, and of course, they have a lot of headline talent. A D1 quarterback commit in Billy Middleton, who we've seen tonight going to Weber State. And the Notre Dame pledge in Braden Robinson. And for Colleyville, trying to build upon what Jerry Edwards has done in a couple of years, a 20-5 record in 2 seasons. Colleyville had a short exit in the postseason, losing to Anna in the first round last year, and trying to build upon that as it was their 19th consecutive year going to the postseason. Robinson makes the catch initially, and then Chase Gibson with the solo stop. They drop him down. It will be a 1st down, so Red Oak will quickly get up to the line of scrimmage, but the clock is moving. About 30 seconds to go here in quarter number 2. We believe both teams have their timeouts expired. And here is Middleton looking down the field again, and he has to throw this one to nobody, just the Colleyville sideline. Because Trammell, we've talked about it all night, but the pressure is a big reason why Colleyville has limited big plays, and Camden Blackson has been a big reason why this evening.
Yeah, and here we just need that one big play. They're getting the pressure there, but we need to get him down on the ground in the half so they don't even attempt the field goal.
Would be about a 49-yard try if they did from here, and, well, make it north of 50 now after Clayton Duckworth gets called for the false start. Second on him, fourth pre-snap penalty against Red Oak. Some self-inflicted wounds in this one for the Hawks. The biggest one of note, of course, the botched snap on the punt that gave Colleyville 2 points and a safety, as Noah Santos couldn't punt it away, just had to hop on the football in his own end zone. So 14 seconds left. We'll see if they're going to apply a 10-second runoff as well with no timeouts remaining, at least from our understanding. Now, 2 was on the board, so they did drop 1. And we shall see.
Should be the case. The refs are discussing it.
So 15 seconds left on the clock here in this second quarter, an 8-7 ball game. Middleton with the snap, fires one, looking for Robinson. It's incomplete as he falls down, and third down. Upcoming, just 11 seconds left in the half. But if you're Colleyville, that penalty already weren't in field goal range, and now they definitely aren't. In 3rd and 15, maybe they try to take a deep shot, get out of bounds. We'll see here. Middleton rolling, throwing, and it's incomplete. Another great defensive play made by the Panthers. Hayden West has come to play tonight. His second pass defensed, and a couple coming at crucial times. That one will make it 4th and 15 with 5 seconds to go in the half. But Hayden West has lived up to the hype here in this first half.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a game. He's got a knack for the football. A lot of pass defenses today. I think that's his 3rd one of the game. He's been all over the place, making big tackles, big pass breakups. He came to play, like you said, and he's showing why he's first team all district.
So 5 seconds left in this second quarter. Punt it away, call it a half. You also could just run out the clock if you take the ball. But pretty much it looks like, barring something wild, we're going to be going to halftime with an 8-7 score in favor of the Panthers. And for Colleyville coming into this game, understanding the dynamic ability of Billy Middleton and Braden Robinson. If we told you before the game, hey, Colleyville's going to have 6 drives in the first half, they're going to punt 5 times, just score once on offense and have the lead, you would take it.
Oh, for sure. You would think the game would be a blowout if you told me they punt the ball 5 times, only scored on 1.
That has been the case, and they do have the lead. A touchdown and safety accounting for the 8 points. So final play of the half, Middleton trying to evade the pressure. Here comes Isaiah Omar trying to knock Middleton down, and now he throws up a prayer. And Joey Nisbet coming in, and don't know if he's going to get credited for the interception or not. But anyway, he may get an INT on there. He was just by the sideline, half ends either way.
I think he got it, but hey, I would love the statistic. Why not? Pad your stats.
Joey Nisbet has had such a great half. The defense shines in the first half. Colleyville leads 8-7. It's halftime. We'll be back. You're watching Panther Friday Night on Tradio.
Pre-owned values are up again. We're paying top dollar for trades. You could upgrade to a lower payment. Get started now at ClassicChevrolet.com. American power. Texas Drive. Classic Chevrolet. #1 in the world.
Good evening, football fans. Grapevine Colleyville Independent School District and Colleyville Heritage High School are proud to present for you your halftime entertainment. The Panther Marching Band, Diamonds, and the Varsity Pantera Dance Team. Tonight's show will begin with the Heart of the Ville, the Crowd Pleasers, National Champion Colleyville Heritage Varsity Pantera Dance Team. Panteras would like to thank their title sponsor, Seven Therapy Company, and premier sponsors, Chick-fil-A Love Field, Taking Boston Insurance and Financial Services, Jason Ridley Agency, and Terra Costa. Pantera Social Committee is President Al L. Blanchard, Vice President Julia Mason, Spirit Leaders Coco Keith and Ronan Huditek, Philanthropy Chairs Nazim Pellegrino and Anub Muhammad, Historians Maddie Beth and Bella Compass. Pantera line officers are Senior Lieutenant Lauren Miller, Captain Danny Heisey, First Lieutenant London Murillo, Junior Lieutenant Peyton Jones, and Junior Lieutenant Hannah Ground. Pantera of the Week is Junior Katie Floyd. Spirit Girl of the Week is Freshman Lila Brandari. Pantera Heart of the Ville is Sophomore Rayleigh Allen. Pantera Teacher of the Week is Miss Carla Davis. Pantera managers are Lauren Bellinger, Lindsay Shepard, and Sophia Stoll. Tonight's performance is a fun jazz kick routine to Don't Stop the Music. Panteras are under the direction of Terrace Van. Please welcome to the field the Colleyville Heritage High School Marching Band. Colleyville Heritage's show is entitled Panther Pride and includes the Hay Song, China Grove, and the Colleyville Heritage Fight Song. Colleyville High School is proud to present drum majors Alyssa Bolden, Nicole Tubsaver, Allison Gary, Maya Rana, and the Colleyville Heritage Panther Band.
The Colleyville Heritage High School Panther Band. The Panther Band is under the direction
Of William Red. Assistant directors include Nick Bodey, Lizzie Perry, Carson Beer, Dan Dara, Tony Luna, and Dr. Martin Godoy. The Panther Band would like to thank their corporate sponsors: Osprey Video Incorporated, Z-Bird, Tamagaucho, Costa Vida, Almar Jewelers, Cornerstone Health and Wellness, Merchant Realty Group, Raising Cane's, Renaissance, Wise Guys Pizza, Key Life Homes, Rita's Ice, Kona Ice, and the Feed Store Barbecue. Thank you to our sponsors, community, and administration for your continued support. Once again, let's hear it for the Colleyville Heritage High School Panther Marching Band and Varsity Panthers Dance Team. Go Panthers! Now introducing the award-winning 2025-2026 Varsity Hawkettes. The Hawkettes are
Do you have a dream of having a pool and a backyard oasis? Well, it's time to talk to the professionals at J. Caldwell Custom Pools. From new construction to remodeling to service and maintenance, J. Caldwell Custom Pools is your custom pool builder and outdoor living design expert, serving you with 2 locations, Hudson Oaks and Fort Worth, because life is too short for ordinary backyards. Dive in and find out more at jcaldwellcustompools.com.
Campus Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Do you know what makes a biscuit a Bo biscuit? There it is. Small batch biscuits, just minutes from the oven, with crunchy hand-breaded chicken. Now you know. The Carolina legend is here. If you know, you Bo.
Back with you on Panther Friday night on Tradio. Colleyville leads 8-7 at halftime, getting ready for the second half of action alongside Tramel Jeffers. I'm Will Connerly. Thanks so much for joining us here on Panther Friday night on Tradio. Colleyville with one touchdown drive in the first half, a 47-yard touchdown to Connor Supacasey. A safety added on top of that, 8 points for them, 7 for Red Oak. Their touchdown came from 12 yards out to Braden Robinson, the Notre Dame commit, who had 15 1 year ago. We didn't do the starting lineups at the beginning of the game, but to catch you up to speed of the Colleyville Heritage Panthers, we can give them to you right now, and we can talk more in depth about each level of this squad. Let's start with the offensive line. So you have Wes Dalio-Cubic, the one guy coming back to this team on the offensive line. Chandler Sampson, too. He played a little bit, but the one starter coming back, Wes Dalio-Cubic, he's heading to UTEP with Bodey Weaver. Gavin Cornwell, Hayes Patterson, the center, Chandler Sampson, like we mentioned, and Muhannad Ramadan at right tackle as well. So that's the guys up front. They were certainly challenged in the first half by that front seven of Red Oak. The receivers, Trevi Prycia, which we've learned just as of moments ago, he is number 3 earlier today. Connor Supacasey, who had the big touchdown, and Samir Johnson, who was getting targets left and right in that first half. And then as we continue to look at the starting lineup and check out what this backfield looks like, it's Gerard Wiley, Gabe Bess, he got out there a little bit, and Bodey Weaver, and then of course you can't forget the starter all-district tight end man also in the backfield quite a bit, because not too many two running back sets, Blake Wendler. So that's the offense for the Panthers. And on defense, these are the guys who need a little bit of love, Tramel. Demarius Logan, DeMarshe Logan, those Logan twins up front, wrecking havoc. Nehemiah Oleiwola, and then Isaiah Omar was really doing some great work as well. And yes, you read that correctly, just a sophomore for big number 99, trying to fill the footsteps of another 99 from a year ago who went on to play at the Division I level. Dax Ebeson, Joey Nisbet, and Camden Blackson. That linebacking core has been great. It's really been the two new guys, Nisbet and Blackson, who have made the most plays. And then quickly as we close it out, we look at the secondary for the Colleyville Heritage Panthers. Chase Gibson and Eli Woldery, they've had a ton of single coverage assignments against Robinson. Hayden West, 3 pass defense in the first half, and then Will Hummert as well. That is the starting lineup. Tramel, quick thoughts as we go into the second half for you in this ballgame. I mean, we're set up for what could be a great finish.
Oh, we are. We're killing it in the trenches on the offensive line. To start the game, they were a little bit sluggish. They were giving up so many pressures, 4 straight pressures that they gave up. But once they started getting back on the field and drives started to move, they got into a flow. They're getting a little bit going in the run game. Can pick it up a little bit there. But they're protecting Bodey Weaver. They play better. And then the defensive line has been killing it all game. So we're winning the battle in the trenches. Now it's just time to put some points on the board.
So Landon Dressel kicks this one off, and the ball is loose down on the field, and it looks like the Panthers perhaps come up with it. They do indeed. What a play made by the Colleyville Heritage Panthers coming out of the locker room. Will Hummert making a play. They didn't want to boot it back to Dylan McGee, and Will Hummert, the junior defensive back, picks up the short kick out of the locker room. Jerry Edwards, you want to roll the dice? A short kick right there. Will Hummert gets it done, and Landon Dressel places it perfectly. The Panthers get it to start the second half, Tramel.
Some more special teams magic for this Panther squad right here on special teams. That is the second blunder on special teams. And just like last year, there were 2 special team blunders in that game. And eventually, the Panthers won, and we might see the same result here.
So Colleyville starting with the ball. They recover the opening kick to start the second half. And now Bodey Weaver, quick pass, tries to get it out to Gerard Wiley. The pressure certainly was there. Bodey Weaver had to get rid of it, and a man who's been active tonight, Jeffrey Killings, met Bodey Weaver in the backfield, and he had to get rid of it. Couldn't get it out to Gerard Wiley. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Colleyville starting at the 35-yard line.
Probably a good thing that he didn't complete that pass, because Wiley was going to take a big hit if he caught that football, so he got fortunate there on that play.
So Colleyville 6 drives in the first half and 5 punts. Bodey Weaver now going to take it himself, and he drops the shoulder, showing the power in open field, and a nice gain to pick up about 8 yards, a quality run on second down, 3rd and short upcoming for the Panthers.
The UTEP commit is showing he can be physical too, just like Billy Middleton. He can be physical too and pick up some big runs.
And that's what Jerry Edwards told us. Hey, now that he's committed, he's playing more loose, he's playing more free, and he said it was hard to put into words how much growth Bodey Weaver has had. And one way it seems is the way he can run the football as well. Gerard Wiley, the fake to him, Bodey Weaver taking it himself, and it looks like it's picked up by Red Oak. They come out of it. Jeffrey Killings, the man again, looked like he just stripped the ball away from Bodey Weaver. Now, we'll see if they give it to Red Oak or if they stop it on forward progress, but the ball definitely got dislodged, and Jeffrey Killings thought he had it, but it looks like the celebration stops quickly as the official indicates it was going to be stopped on forward progress, Tramel.
Yeah, Jeffrey Killings, he's been there every single play. He's been all over the place this game, but the play was whistled dead a long time ago. He thought he had a fumble. He thought he had another big play, but not that time.
Interesting, though, to have your quarterback running straight into rush hour traffic. Bodey Weaver can do it, though. And it does, more importantly, set up a 4th down here in Colleyville. You're just joining us, you're getting some grub at halftime, you come back and you realize, why does Colleyville have the ball? It wasn't a true onside kick, right, where they just roll it to the front, but an onside kick, so to speak. They short kick and they get it back. Will Hummert recovers it. And Colleyville now facing a 4th down, now short and plus territory. They go for it. Looks like trying to avoid a penalty there, the quick stoppage here, perhaps a timeout. Not sure what's going on here. Don't have the officials piped up here right now, but Trammell, what a way to roll the dice out of halftime to go with Landon Dressel shortly kicking it, and you do that for multiple reasons. We don't want the ball in Dylan McGee's hands, and you get the ball back, and then they got the ball back, the best result possible, but now it looks like it's going to be an accepted penalty for Colleyville. In the first half, Red Oak had 5 penalties, 4 pre-snap, and Colleyville just had the 1 pass interference. And it looks like for a moment they brought the ball back there, and now they're moving it forward back to where the line of scrimmage was. So some confusion here. As we understand it, it'll be 4th and 1 now. I mean, Trammell, less than a yard here. You see the nose of the football has to get to the 25. And if you look really closely, it is just at the 25-yard line. So 4th and as short as you can possibly get here for Colleyville. A for sure go situation at the 25-yard line, especially considering that they went for it at their own 25-yard line on the opening drive, but it ended with a punt after 7 plays.
Yeah, like you said, it's 4th and very, very short. We're going to have to get 2 offensive linemen to get their hands on Cox because you know he's going to be right there up the middle, and he is a run stopper. He is a gobbler when it comes to stopping a run. Let's get some push on him, and we can pick up this 1st down.
42-yarder would have been the try if they wanted points. It's like you see the official saying they pick up the flag. So Colleyville not going to be penalized. 4th down in inches. Weaver puts Gerard Wiley in motion. Wiley gets to the edge, and he is tackled there by Rashad Malone, but not before he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, that time we pick up some good runs, good blocks. He follows his blocks, picks up a good 3 or 4 yards, and we're moving the chains. And we have a chance to make something happen in the red zone.
Trevi Prycia and Dez Bryant lined up on the far side. Connor Supacase on the near side. Dez Bryant comes in motion. Bodey Weaver looking down the field. Now has to escape the pocket. Continues to keep his eyes downfield and put the ball in a Nice spot for Trevi Prysha, but it's incomplete, and it'll set up 2nd and 10. Colleyville with the ball at the Hawks' 21-yard line.
That time, Weaver was doing a little bit too much. He had Des Bryant open for a couple yards. Could have kept the ball moving and pick up a 2nd and short. Or move to a 2nd and short.
Didn't see a ton of action for Des Bryant Jr. in the first half. But out there here in the opening series of the second half, got a few snaps in the first half as well. Bodey Weaver again has to escape the pocket. Thought about tucking and running, instead fires it, and it's incomplete. Intended target again, Trevi Prysha. So Bodey, just like Billy Middleton, they've had to run and escape the pocket and try to extend plays. And that's one thing. First week, you're thrown into the mix against a front seven that includes multiple Division I type guys on the other side. You're seeing what can Bodey Weaver do when the play is broken, and that's a great challenge that he's going to face now on a clear passing 3rd and 10 down from the 21-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be a great test. This is a great test for moving on throughout the season because they're not going to see a front that is as talented as the Hawks.
Bodey Weaver, short pass, tried to get it to Connor Supacase. Great defense. Courtney Gordon Jr., the linebacker, was there in coverage. An 8-7. Colleyville with the lead. Are they going to try to add on points here? It looks like that's going to be the case.
And our third quarter is brought to you by our platinum sponsor in Classic Chevrolet.
So thanks to Classic Chevrolet sponsoring quarter number 3. A 38-yard try is up. It has legs, and it is good. Landon Dressel with the field goal, and Colleyville extends their lead. They're up 11-7 after a 38-yard field goal for Landon Dressel after he missed an extra point earlier in the game. The kicker making moves to start the second half because an onside kick recovery by Colleyville out of the gates. Landon Dressel on the boot. And he puts points on the board, a 38-yard shot. And he had plenty of room to wiggle. Probably would have been good from 48, 50. I mean, he had a lot of yardage after that. Colleyville leading 11-7.
He did, but he almost didn't get it off as Rashad Malone, again, he's even making plays on special teams. He almost got there and almost blocked the kick. But fortunately for the Panthers, he was able to get it off. And now we have an 11-7 lead.
So a 38-yard field goal for Colleyville. Landon Dressel knocks it through. 7 plays, 38 yards on the field goal to close out the 7-play drive to begin the second half. Bodey Weaver now 7 of 18. Another short kick. This time it's fielded. And Red Oak on the return. They get it across the 40. So part of the design, they go back to that. And we say, again, it wasn't the true dribbling onside kick where everybody's going and they're showing their hand, but they recover the opening kickoff and go to the short kickoff again because they've got dynamic returners back there. You want to avoid them. That's one way to do it. They do it again, and now Red Oak, they're prepared for it. They get the ball back, trailing 11-7 after the Landon Dressel 38-yard field goal.
Yeah, I will continue to do it. You don't want Dylan McGee returning that kick. You know how lethal he is. You saw it last year. He's one of the best in the state of Texas when it comes to returning kickoffs.
So a handoff right up the gut. Joey Nisbet was the first there, but then bouncing out of that, Billy Middleton taking it himself and fooling a lot of the Panthers on the fake, and a penalty marker comes down on the play. So they'll try to sort this one out. Again, it looks multiple times we've seen the yellow laundry come on the field and then the official waves it off. That's been multiple times tonight here in the season opener. And that occasion no different on a Billy Middleton run.
Yeah, I'm confused on what was going on. I thought it was an offensive hold, but I guess not. They picked the flag up.
Middleton with the fake. Steps up in the pocket, and he's getting dropped. Nehemiah Ole-Iwola with a sack.
Ole-Iwola, another big-time sack. I mean, we've spoke on the pressure all game long. They are getting after Billy Middleton, and if it wasn't for his athleticism, we would probably have double-digit sacks right now. I mean, they're doing as a good of a job as they can. 3 sacks for this defensive line today in this game.
Demarius Logan on the edge. Isaiah Omar on the edge. Nehemiah Ole-Iwola up front as well, just on that play. And a quick hitter there to Robinson. Braden Robinson making the catch. Dax Hebeson comes in to make the tackle, the lead returning tackler from a year ago. And it sets up third down. But that front four is proven to be formidable. Marius Logan, Nehemiah Ole-Iwola, Isaiah Omar, and now up front on the edge, Will Kennedy, rotating in here on the third down pass rush opportunity. And Middleton fires it over the middle. It's caught by Braden Robinson. Eli Woolery there to make the tackle, but a big gain for Braden Robinson. And the 4-star wideout sets Red Oak up for a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. They go quickly, a handoff right away to Dalen Johnson. He picks up about 4 yards.
So now Red Oak is starting to move that ball. When they need a big play, they get it to Jaden Robinson every single time. He's a big-time player. He makes big-time plays. Now we see them face a 2nd and 7, and this is where they like to go to him, in the red zone. He's very dangerous in the red zone.
He had a touchdown from 12 yards out earlier in the game, the lone score for Red Oak. Now they want to go deep once again, and it's incomplete. Trammell, they were looking for their target in the end zone. It was Jordan McEwen, the intended target, but incomplete, and it sets up another third down.
And great coverage by Will Hummert that time. Broke the ball up. It was a perfect throw, just better coverage. And now we're facing the 3rd and 7.
Third and 7 from the 22. Middleton rolls out, looks down the field. He has McEwen, and he gets inside the 10-yard line. Tackle made there by Isaiah Haynes, the defensive back. But not before Red Oak gets to a goal to go. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line now for Red Oak, as they are at the doorstep trying to take the lead in this ball game. Caught to the outside by McEwen. Will Hummert comes in to make the tackle. Hummert flying around trying to contain McEwen.
And that's what you want. You want them to throw those short passes, keep everything in front of you, and make the tackle.
No gain on the play. 2nd and goal from the 9. Under 6 to go in quarter number 3. Middleton stepping up. He wants to run it himself. He tiptoes the sideline and punches it in from 9 yards out. A Billy Middleton rushing touchdown gives the Red Oak Hawks the lead here in the third quarter.
In that time, Billy Middleton, he just shows you why he's so good. He's so athletic. He uses his speed there, escapes the pocket, and gets the rushing touchdown. And that was open because the attention on Braden Robinson and the attention to Jordan McEwen. Those two guys both saw two guys on them, and it opened up a rushing lane for Billy Middleton.
The point after, unable to get the kickoff, coming in to make the tackle, Chase Gibson on the punter, Noah Santos, who was holding, and they are unable to get the kickoff, and that could be instrumental in this ball game because instead of going up by a score, I guess still a score, a safety, they're up by instead of a field goal. It's 13-11, Red Oak with the lead by just 2 points now after they're unable to get the PAT off. We saw Colleyville miss an extra point earlier in the game, and then Red Oak botch a snap on a punt that they're unable to get the punt off. They're unable to get the PAT off as well.
Another special teams gift for Colleyville, and that might come back and hunt them. You look at the score right now, it's 13-11. It's a 2-point game. I'm just saying, in that fourth quarter, we'll see what happens.
So a 9-play, 56-yard drive, a 9-yard touchdown run by Billy Middleton, and perhaps a consequential PAT that did not get attempted. No attempt on the point after, as the holder, Noah Santos, just gobbled it up. Chase Gibson tackled him. And so now Colleyville will get the ball back. They score on their opening drive of the second half, which Red Oak was supposed to start with the ball, but Colleyville recovers the opening kickoff to start the second half. They put 3 on the board. Red Oak answers with a Billy Middleton touchdown, but unable to convert the extra point. And here on the return, Gerard Wiley twists and turns up to the 25-yard line.
Dangerous move by the Hawks, kicking it to Jared Wiley. Just like Dylan McGee, he can return those kicks to the end zone too. He can take it to the house. I would try to kick it away and avoid him, but hey, it results in our favor. We'll see if they continue to do it.
Yes, and apologies. I think that could have been Chase Gibson. Chase Gibson was back there as well, but either way, they get up to the 25-yard line where they would have been either way, so didn't burn him on the kickoff. We haven't seen too many explosive returns today, but special teams has certainly been a big factor. Bodey Weaver brings Gerard Wiley in motion, throws it out to a moving Gerard Wiley, who gets across the 35-yard line. Courtney Gordon Jr. makes the tackle, but Colleyville picks up a first down.
And that time, Jared Wiley, he just flares out in the flat, and he showed you that he can catch the ball, and he picks up a first down on that play.
So Red Oak up by 2, 5 minutes to go in the third. A 1st and 10 for Colleyville from the 38. Bodey Weaver gets rid of it quickly and caught right on the sideline there by Lucas Sunwall, the sophomore wideout. His second catch tonight.
I'm excited to see what he's going to do this season. He was a superstar on junior varsity last year, and I'm glad to see that he made the roster, this varsity roster, as a sophomore this year.
Couple sophomore wideouts on the field right now. Number 5, Des Bryant Jr. up on the far side with Trevi Preicha as well. Preicha just a junior. And then Sunwall with Wiley, who motions. Bodey Weaver looks down the field, gives a shot. It was in and out of the hands of Trevi Preicha, and a big reason why was Rashad Malone came in to apply the hit.
Yeah, it was good cut. Well, it wasn't good coverage, but he broke on the ball. Would have been better if the receiver goes towards the ball a little bit more. he would have had an easy catch and we would have a first down. But it was a good pass breakup, good hit.
So now Colleyville faces a 3rd and 8. They're at their own 40-yard line. Need to get to the 48. Bodey Weaver. He drops back. Pressure comes and he gets pulled down by his jersey with one arm. The strength of Courtney Gordon Jr. on display right there as he just drops Bodey Weaver by his jersey down to the turf for a sack, and Colleyville will be forced to punt.
Yeah, that was a grown man tackle there. The strength of Courtney Gordon Jr., my goodness, you saw it there on that play. This pressure is starting to get to our offensive line. We're starting to break down a little bit as well.
Courtney Gordon Jr. just 2 sacks last year, 10 tackles for loss, 135 tackles all in all. But on 4th and 16 after the sack, Landon Dressel will punt this one off, and he will punt it out of play right at midfield. Not looking to punt it deep, and so Red Oak will have good field position to begin this one because Dylan McGee or Braden Robinson, both of them have been back there to try to return. They want to try to avoid those happenings on the gridiron, but Red Oak will have plus field position. They're starting at Colleyville's 49-yard line. They lead by 2 here in this 3rd quarter.
Join us for Coffee Talk at 7:45 a.m. A virtual gathering with Superintendent Brenda Stanford. The first Wednesday of each month.
Middleton thought about looking deep, instead going to run forward. Joey Nisbet comes in to make the tackle right around the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down via the legs of Billy Middleton.
And it started with his pump fake and got everybody fooled, and he picks up the first down with his legs.
Now they go a quick handoff, and in to make the play, the sophomore Isaiah Omar. A tackle for loss again for Omar. He has a pair of them tonight. And the sophomore coming in and making plays. The versatile defensive lineman showing on the interior. He's on the outside right now, but big number 99 is going to have an elevated role for a guy that was called up midway through last season and a huge tackle for loss.
Yeah, he showed towards the end of the season why he belonged on varsity.
Middleton fires over the middle, immediately met by Will Hummert, but Jordan McEwen makes the catch right at the sticks, just shy of it. So the tackle for loss backs Red Oak up, but it sets up a 3rd and 1. And Colleyville calls a timeout. Red Oak was quickly trying to run forward. Looks as though Colleyville burns one of 3 precious timeouts here in this second half. So Colleyville with 2 remaining, Red Oak with all 3. On 3rd and 1, Red Oak looking like they were just going to run the ball quickly. That's what they do. They'll get a big play, and they've had some explosive plays tonight, and they'll quickly try to attack you with a run, catch the run defense, which has been pretty solid for the most part tonight, off guard.
It has, and you're seeing that they're starting to pick up their tempo. They're starting to go no huddle. They get a big play, and then they're right back at the line of scrimmage, snapping the ball again. So head coach Jerry Edwards was looking to call a timeout and stop some of this bleeding and get his guys back and revved up.
So Renard Thomas, the running back, goes out there with Billy Middleton. Billy Middleton, 19 passing touchdowns, 15 rushing last year. He has 1 through the air, 1 on the ground tonight. And Red Oak leads by 2 with the ball. 3rd and 1 at the 30. It will be a quick handoff Gonna be shy of the sticks. Isaiah Omar coming in once again, and he has stopped the run tonight with authority.
He has
Sophomore.
another tackle for a loss. And like you said, he's only a sophomore, so imagine what he's going to be like in 2 years.
Middleton stepping up in the pocket. Goes to the edge. Flag is down. Nisbet and Gibson tackle Middleton. He did pick up the necessary yardage, but there is a flag. To your point about Omar, that is a really good point. A lot of talented underclassmen on this team that are playing critical snaps in this season opener with 2 top 25 teams, according to the preseason polls on Dave Campbell's Texas Football, shows that it's a talented team now and for years to come.
Yes, and that's what's so beautiful about it. That's the beauty of it. This team is young. They've got some talented youth, and when they grow and develop, oh my goodness, the sky's the limit.
A lot of talented young guys out there. Some, of course, the senior leaders on that defense, Demarius Logan, Dax Everson, Hayden West. Trying to usher in some of the new guys on the secondary with the challenges they were faced with tonight. Eli Wollery, it looks like the flag against Colleyville, and so they'll tack on to the end of the run, and will just be a first down regardless. As you see, the Panthers band, cheerleaders, all in attendance tonight across the way, showcasing their support for the Panthers. But a 1st and 10 now from the 19 as the Hawks have entered the red zone. Middleton toward the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown.
I don't think he finished the catch.
Incomplete. What a great breakup there by the Panthers. It looked like it was surely going to be a touchdown, but instead, Camden Blackson breaks it up. The linebacker out in coverage, and it was unable to be controlled. Now, more concern is that Blackson now goes down and appears to be shaken up. He is across the way laying down on the Panthers sideline. Somebody who has played incredible tonight in his varsity debut with the Panthers, and that was a fantastic play, but he went down, and so we will keep an eye on that for Panther fans.
Yeah, that might be the biggest play of the game because he was completely beat on that play.
Another shot trying to get it in over the middle. Eli Wollery steps in. On the intended slant there to Christian Totten, and it's incomplete. So this Panthers secondary making some closely contested plays, and like you mentioned, Camden Blackson with an incredible play on what looked to be a touchdown for a moment, but not controlled all the way through. So 3rd and 10 from the 19. Middleton drops back, fires toward the sideline. Incomplete, looking for Totten once again. Or check that, he was looking for his man Braden Robinson, but either way, number 2 unable to haul it in. And so now after Red Oak weren't able to convert on a PAT, they weren't able to attempt it.
And great coverage by Chase Gibson on that play.
Now a 37-yard try. The kick is up, and it is wide right. No good on the field goal try. Misfiring from 37 yards. And so Colleyville keeps the deficit at just 2 points after the missed field goal.
And it starts all with the coverage from Gibson. If he gives up a catch right there, they pick up about 7 yards on that play. They get a closer look at that field goal try. And who knows if they capitalize there. So that's a big miss and a big play on that 3rd down.
Chase Gibson, Camden Blackson, some incredible plays made defensively there for Colleyville. And here's a burst of speed. Looked like he was caught in the backfield, but instead, Gerard Wiley with a big gash up the middle.
I told you, he's going to break one. Not quite there. Almost got it again, but he picks up his biggest run of the day. And he's coming off a little hobble.
And a Red Oak Hawk is down as well. Dylan McGee in a lot of pain on the field. Their superstar who's been offered by multiple Division I's, Power Fours. I mean, we're looking at the offer sheet on a couple of these guys on Red Oak, and it's incredible. Dylan McGee, one of the more dynamic guys. He's a returner. He's, of course, locked down as well, and he is shaken up right now as there's a stoppage in the game for Dylan McGee. Their most talented and promising prospects, of course, outside of Braden Robinson. And so that is a sign of concern for Red Oak.
Yeah, I definitely hope he's okay. He's a talented player, like you said. He just turned 16 years old, which is insane. Just turned 16. He's got 16 Division I offers as well. So he's a big part of this Red Oak Hawks defense and in their return game as well. Like I said, I hope he's okay. He's getting some help off the field, so that's a good sign there.
So Dylan McGee being helped off by the Red Oak Hawks training staff, the junior defensive back. Very promising young athlete that is being helped off after the Gerard Wiley run that was really impressive. That set up Colleyville for a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. But for McGee, we'll keep an eye on a couple of key guys on either defense. Dylan McGee for Red Oak, Camden Blackson for Colleyville, who both had to make their way to the sideline on the last series. Now Bodey Weaver, another handoff, and tripped up is Wiley around the 35-yard line. A pickup of about 2, 2nd and 8 upcoming for Colleyville.
Gain of 2 up to the 35, 2nd down and 8.
28 seconds left in the third quarter. Bodey Weaver looking to pass and could not get it to Supacasey. Perhaps deflected up front as the ball wobbled down in front of the feet of Connor Supacasey and sets up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, the pressure got to him, hit his arm. He had Supacasey on a comeback route. He was going to pick up a big chunk of yards and move those chains. But good pressure by that Hawks defense there because they were about to give up a big chunk.
'Colleyville looking for a big chunk here and fired over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Trevi Pryshaw. In coverage was Rashad Malone. Bodey Weaver fit it in a tight window. Pryshaw unable to hang on. It was elevated, and it will cause Colleyville to punt.
Dangerous throw there, but it got to Pryshaw. He just couldn't hold on to it. Now we're facing the 4th down, and here comes the punt team.
The 8th drive for Colleyville and the 6th that has resulted in a punt. The other 2, 1 field goal for Colleyville and 1 touchdown. For the 6th punt for Dressel, it's a solid one as it rolls out around the 29-yard line. We'll see where they officially mark it. Actually just across the 30, about 33. Looks like where Red Oak will start with 7 seconds left in the second quarter. So 1 play, and then we'll head to the final frame. Colleyville on defense really stepping up big last drive. After Billy Middleton orchestrated that touchdown drive, he capped it off with a 9-yard touchdown run. They drive it down again and miss a field goal, but then Colleyville unable to get things going after a Gerard Wiley good carry when Dylan McGee had to come off.
28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Hawks.
So Middleton looks for the edge, chased out by Joey Nisbet.
The Hawks love those quarterback runs where they have the tight end pull and go out and block in front. They do it a lot with the guards and with the tight ends. They love those counter type runs.
So Camden Blackson not in the game right now for Colleyville. Joey Nisbet, Dax Hebeson. And now coach's son, Braden Edwards, in the ball game as well with Camden Blackson. So Braden Edwards getting his first opportunity. And now a little miscue on the handoff there, causing some confusion. Dax Hebeson right on the spot with Joey Nisbet. And Renard Thomas unable to gain anything. But Camden Blackson being stretched out on the sideline. And now Braden Edwards, coach's son. He's got a couple of sons that are sophomores getting thrown into the mix. Next man up for Colleyville. And now seeing what number 25, the sophomore, another sophomore like we've talked about tonight, linebacker getting in the mix.
Just like their dad, they're built for the big moments, so I have no worries. Ready to see them make some big plays.
So Braden Edwards, the linebacker, he got inserted into the ball game at outside linebacker with Blackston going down. And for Camden Blackson, the junior linebacker, he and Joey Nisbet, the senior linebacker, they've had incredible games. We all know what Dax Hebeson can do, but after losing your top 2 tacklers from a year ago and a lot of guys who went on to play at the next level, you've seen some of these linebackers step in and make some really nice plays.
Yeah, like you said, you lose your 2 best linebackers. Somebody has to step up, and today they've definitely stepped up to the occasion.
So it's Dax Hebeson, Joey Nisbet, and again, Braden Edwards at the second level of that defense at linebacker for Colleyville. 3rd and 10. Billy Middleton tries to avoid Ole Iwola, still looking down the field with time, tries to make a play, coming back toward the ball, and it is somehow hauled in. Billy Middleton freelancing so hard, and Jordan McEwen makes the catch.
Jordan McEwen again making another big play on 3rd down. And that was all Billy Middleton on that play. He escapes the pocket again. He avoids the pressure, buys a lot of time. And, of course, somebody's going to be open when the quarterback has the ball that long.
And credit to Jordan McEwen. Obviously, the play had been broken, and here's a big play breaking through the middle. Secondary and Hayden West has to make the tackle on a big run there by Dalen Johnson, but that was a couple of big daggers. 3rd and long. Billy Middleton navigates all the traffic. Nehemiah Ole Iwola coming at him. They hit you with a big run up the gut by Dalen Johnson, and now it's a 1st and 10 from the 30 for Red Oak. They quickly get rid of it. Braden Robinson has it, avoids a tackle before Joey Nisbet is able to drop him after a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 upcoming.
And, yeah, they're starting to pick up that pace again. They're starting to go no huddle. They're snapping the ball quick. That time it was a quick screen to Braden Robinson and a great tackle by Nisbet. If you look at Braden Robinson's film, he breaks those tackles a lot of times, and he takes that to the house. Great tackle by Nisbet on that play.
Billy Middleton rolls, fires. It's caught once again. He has been looking for Jordan McEwen all game, and he finds him once again up to the 15-yard line. So Red Oak moving in the red zone. Their last drive ended in the red zone. They eventually got out of it and missed a field goal, but they're back once again as this Hawks offense has started to find a groove with some big plays here in the second half.
They are, and Jordan McEwen, he's starting to find his form, and he's starting to hurt this Panthers defense. So now that might open things up for Braden Robinson.
Middleton trying to get away from Dax Hebeson. Omar trying to chase him down as well before Nisbet was closing in on him. But it's Billy Middleton who gets inside the 10-yard line.
And again, he just hurts you with his legs. He gets out the pocket again. There's nobody downfield that he can throw it to. So he plays it safe, and he just picks up some extra yards and keeps those chains moving. Now they face a second and very short, 2nd and 2.
Handoff right up the middle and good stop up front. Colleyville all over it. Braden Edwards and Dax Hebeson right there on the stop as they reading Renard Thomas III, the running back for the Hawks, on his run to set up a critical 3rd and 2.
Hey, Sue, could you get this matchup at the end?
Colleyville going to burn their second timeout of the half here on a 3rd and 2 awaiting with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go. Coach Edwards wants to talk about it once again. Jay Caldwell Pools, they sponsor this 4th quarter. Thanks to them for supporting Panther Friday Night on Tradio. 9:12 to go, though, in the 4th quarter. And a big 3rd down awaits Trammell. Colleyville thinking it's so big they burn their second. Now just 1 timeout left for Colleyville. And a big play awaits.
Yeah, we're in the 4th quarter now, so this is a crucial drive. Really because the offense just hasn't gotten anything going, so you really need to get a stop because if you go down double digits, then you're just playing into their defense's hands. Their pressure has been getting to our offensive line the entire game. So this is a crucial stop. You do not want them to walk away with 6.
Third down, 2 to go from the 7. A big play awaits. As Colleyville just burned a timeout. Try to get themselves set up for a 3rd down. Middleton, pressure comes, throws over the middle, looking for Robinson. Hayden West all over it. Hayden West again.
Another big play by Hayden West. Now that might be the biggest play of the game so far. And now they're going to bring out the special teams unit to kick a field goal. Big play by Hayden West. He was all over the play.
You still see Billy Middleton out there. Looked for a moment they were going to bring out the special teams, but it seems like Melvin Robinson, after a missed PAT, or a PAT they were unable to get in a missed field goal, they're going to go for it. Big play, 4th and 2. And big time play made by Colleyville. Demarius Logan all over it, and the Panthers get it back.
Demarius Logan, top 10 defensive lineman in the country, shows you right there on that play. Oh my goodness. And now the Panthers get the ball back and they can get something going on offense. It's time.
So Dax Hebeson coming through the middle, forcing a blitz. Hayden West makes a play on Braden Robinson. And then Demarius Logan, a big-time D lineman, one of the more coveted D linemen in DFW, and he shows you why right there. A big tackle for loss. Billy Middleton unable to escape like he did most of the drive, and Colleyville has it back. The timeout pays off, and now Bodey Weaver gonna run it himself. He has some space. He twists and turns across the 25-yard line, and the Panthers have the 1st down.
Bodey Weaver, quarterback keeper, takes it across the 25.
They're going to pick up their pace a little bit too, try to get a rhythm going.
1st and 10 from the 28. Bodey Weaver quickly gets rid of it and nearly picked off, looking for Connor Supacase. And oh boy, Jalen Tennyson was right there. And it's just an incomplete pass, thankfully, for the Panthers.
Oh, because if he picks that off, that was going for 6. Oh, he got lucky. Fortunately for our Panthers, that ball did not get to him.
8:32 left in the fourth quarter. Colleyville down by 2, 2nd and 10. They have it at the 28-yard line. And a flag comes down. It's going to be against Colleyville. A false start will back them up, 2nd and 15. Critical time for the penalty for the Panthers. A 2nd and long. They're looking with the football in the fourth quarter to amount, albeit a small, a comeback down by 2. Second down and 15. Colleyville has it at the 23-yard line. Bodey Weaver sends Gerard Wiley in motion. Steps up in the pocket. Lets one fly. And incomplete. Looking on the sideline there for Lucas Sunwall. And it sets up a 3rd and 15 with 8:22 left in the fourth.
And again, Jalen Tennyson with great coverage on the play. Didn't allow him to catch the ball. He was in great position. Now it's 3rd and 15.
What does Colleyville have here on 3rd and long? Bodey Weaver dropping back. Pressure comes. He steps up and's going to run for it. Bodey Weaver makes a man miss. And he gets dropped down at the 35. We'll make it a 4th and a couple. And Bodey Weaver setting the Panthers up. They may go and punt, but certainly good field position, at least much better than what it would have been on an excellent run by Bodey Weaver.
Oh, for sure. And it looked promising. I thought he was going to pick up the first down. The Hawks rushed only 4. They got pressure on him. He got out the pocket, made a big run, but he was just a little bit too short. And now it's 4th and 2.
And a lot of 4th and less than 4 tonight where Colleyville has opted to punt. They're going to do it again. For a 7th time, they're punting this evening. High snap. Dressel gets it off. But that shows how much trust Jerry Edwards has in this defense.
Yeah, and they're playing very well outside of the drive early in the game where they gave them the ball on their own side of the field. What was it, our own 20? Didn't really have much to go, and they scored there. And then a couple drives ago, Red Oak just scored again. They really haven't done much offensively, and like we talked about all game, the pressure is getting there, and the secondary is playing really well.
In the last 2 drives, they've had most of their yards on the last 2 drives. No points, a missed field goal, and then a tackle for loss on 4th and 2 from about the 10-yard line. So they've driven it down the field the last 2 times. The Colleyville defense has bended a little bit on those last 2 drives. They haven't broken.
Nope.
They haven't let up points, and so Jerry Edwards punts it away on 4th and short, despite a great run by Bodey Weaver, and a 1st and 10 for Red Oak from the 46-yard line. And it's another tackle for loss, just getting in there. The run, nothing doing from the backs tonight for Red Oak. And it's DeMarche Logan, who looks like he got in there first to force the tumble down on the rush by Dalen Johnson, who did have a big gash last drive.
Yeah, and on this drive, you want to get a stop early because the clock really isn't working in your favor. And the deeper they go down the field, the more clock they burn off, and the shorter or the longer field that you'll have to work with when you get the ball back.
Colleyville's tackle for loss makes it 2nd and 13. Middleton drops back, fires to a wide open man over the middle, and then multiple Panthers have to bring him down. Play is made by Darius Sanders, and it's a 1st down for Red Oak.
Can't leave a guy that open. He just found a soft spot in the zone, got a big 1st down, and now they're starting to move the ball.
So 1st and 10, Red Oak back up in Colleyville territory for a 3rd consecutive drive, although the last 2 haven't resulted in points, a turnover on downs and a missed field goal. Now they have a 1st and 10 from the 37. Middleton getting rid of it quickly, and a great play made by Braden Robinson. The Notre Dame commit tiptoes to the sideline, and they're just on the edge of the red zone.
That play, they sent Nisbet on a blitz. He almost got there. Middleton had to get the ball out of his hands. He throws it to his main guy, Braden Robinson, and he makes a big-time catch.
Middleton, handoff right up the gut, plenty of space. And Renard Thomas III, from 20 yards out, punches it in for a touchdown. Red Oak up 19-11.
And that fast tempo offense is what hurt the Panthers on that drive. They get back to the line of scrimmage, they snap the ball quick, and they run their plays. And that time, it was a big hole. He ran straight down the middle, untouched. Can't let that happen. And now, 19-11.
Crucial extra point here for Rodolfo Salas. The PAT is up and it is through. Critical there, Trammell, because you had the hope that perhaps you could keep it at a one-score game, but that PAT will require Colleyville now to score twice with 5:35 to go in just one timeout.
And also, it plays into the Hawks' defense's hands. It plays into their strengths. They love to get pressure on the quarterback. They've been getting pressure on the quarterback. And now Colleyville is one-dimensional. They have to throw the football. They really don't have time to hand the ball off and run it. The time is not in their favor, so they're going to be one-dimensional. And they're going to be throwing the ball the rest of this game.
They will try to air it out, score quickly, and put the game in their defense's hands. That's what they can hope for. And it's a Red Oak team that in the second half, the offense has moved the football. The points haven't shown for it really because they've had a couple of empty drives in the red zone. They get it done right there. They got it done earlier on a 9-yard touchdown run from Billy Middleton. Now you do have Gerard Wiley back deep to return with Chase Gibson. And it will be Wiley who lets it bounce out of play. So a flag comes and Colleyville will be bumped forward. Another kicked out of bounds on the illegal procedure with Gerard Wiley back there.
A big bounce for us because we needed that. That gives us that extra yards and puts us in good field position. Now we have less field to work with, and we have 5 minutes and 35 seconds, so that helps us out a lot. We get to move that ball up the field, advance that ball up the field.
Colleyville down, but not out of it yet. They have just one timeout. Down 20-11. Looking for a quick score, a stop, and another score. A tall task. But as head coach Jerry Edwards says, the Panther fight never dies. We'll see what fight they have right now.
30-yard line, Panthers will set up.
Bodey Weaver airs it down the field. Connor Supacasey hauls it in. There's some fight for the Panthers. Another massive reception for Connor Supacasey.
That's the big play we needed. And again, Connor Supacasey right down the middle. Another big reception. He is killing that Hawks defense down the middle.
Bodey Weaver once again looks for Des Bryant. Incomplete. The first target tonight for Des Bryant Jr. Very highly touted man, and of course many recognize the name. His dad, a great Dallas Cowboy, who's around the team quite a bit. And his first target coming with 5:17 left in the fourth. unable to haul it in, but the clock stops. 2nd and 10 from the 34. Bodey Weaver fires it sideline, and it's incomplete. Hits off the hands of Supakezi.
Couple of back-to-back incompletions, and now you're facing a 3rd and 10, and this is one that you have to convert. You don't want to face a 4th down, because then that decides the game.
And you know it's 4 down territory here. .5:10 to go. A big 3rd and 10. Bodey Weaver drops 3, fires over the middle, and it's incomplete. Looking for Trevi Preicha. And now Colleyville, with the game on the line pretty much, will have to go for a 4th and 10. They haven't moved the chain yet to say 4, and see if the official is going to penalize Colleyville. And the holding against Colleyville is going to be declined. So instead of what it would have been a 3rd and 20, they say we'll take 4th and 10 on the loss of down. With 5:04 to go. 4th and 10. Game hanging in the balance. Colleyville needs it.
This is where you should go for Supakezi. He's been your main guy today. He's made big play after big play. I think this is the guy you should target.
Des Bryant Jr., Trevi Preicha on the near side. Connor Supakezi, Landon Dressel on the far side. Bodey Weaver sends a man in motion, looking far side. He throws it. Incomplete. Intended target was Connor Supakezi. He looked there the whole way, and Red Oak made Bodey Weaver get rid of it quickly, and they'll get the ball back up by 9 with under 5 to go in the 4th quarter. Colleyville with just 1 timeout.
Yeah, he went for the guy who's been making the big plays throughout the game, but he just underthrew him a little bit, and the pressure got to him, which kind of messed up the throw.
Bodey Weaver's been tested tonight after having a career-high 288 passing yards against Red Oak in the season opener last year. They've made it more challenging for this Colleyville offense. Today, just 1 touchdown for the Panthers on offense, a field goal and safety as well, accounting for their 11, but now down by 9, and Red Oak likely to pound it on the ground. They try right there. Renard Thomas met by Dax Hebeson, a gain of a yard, maybe 2 after the forward progress. But the clock gonna wind.
Up the middle across the 35 to the 36. That's a gain of 2 yards. 2nd down and 8.
A lot of positives in this game for the Panthers. New faces being thrust into the varsity level, going up against a 5A Division I opponent that's ranked 24th in the preseason polls. They've hung with Red Oak all game long, but in this second half, their offense started to move it a little bit more. Middleton going to keep it himself, and he gets gobbled up. Good to see Camden Blackson back in the game, making the stop. That would have been probably one of the biggest concerns if we didn't see him get back out there after he was shaken up on one of the most acrobatic defensive plays made. The secondary also in the area of positives. Hayden West, 4 passes defense. You've mentioned Chase Gibson, and even at the linebacker position with Blackson, they've made a lot of plays defensively tonight against a very dynamic offense.
Yes, a lot of good plays, a lot of good things to hang their hat on. But we still have 3 minutes to play. Still a long football game.
Middleton throws it. Good grab made there by Darius Sanders. With 3 and change left in the 4th quarter, it sets up a 4th down. And so Red Oak,
looks like they're going to stay on the field.
right, it's what it looks like. You still have Billy Middleton out there on a 4th and 4. There's the hope now for Colleyville. Get the ball back here. The defense did job number 1, score, and then you pretty much need an onside kick. And obviously getting way ahead of them ourselves one step at a time. And Red Oak going to call a timeout to perhaps think about this decision a little bit more. Of course, another aspect of it is they didn't have to snap the ball. They were letting it wind down all the way to 2:37. You would think they would for sure punt this ball away, and they were just waiting to get that ball or get that clock all the way down.
Yeah, that's what it was. They were just trying to run the clock down as low as they could, and then once that clock hit 1, they were going to call the timeout and burn it, and then they'll bring the punting unit on.
So punt it away. Colleyville will get the ball back with 2.5 minutes left. Really promising start to the last drive. Connor Supacase showing big play ability as he did on the lone touchdown for Colleyville tonight. It was in the first half, a 47-yard touchdown reception by Connor Supacase, who, when you look at this receiving core, Trevi Preicha, Connor Supacase, Samir Johnson, Des Bryant, also Lucas Sunwall. There's been a lot of different targets tonight for Bodey Weaver. The bell count in the backfield primarily has been Gerard Wiley. We've seen 1 carry from Gabe Bess. But it was a promising start to that last drive, but then consecutive incompletions. And I think early on in the season, you could see that these moments can help this team grow, as well as Bodey Weaver tries to find out what all new toys he has in the weapon department on offense as well. The punt just gets off, and the return by Will Hummer as he is rocked at the 25-yard line. So Colleyville, with 2:26 left in the fourth, will take over. We do have 1 timeout remaining. Obviously have to score and score quick.
Yeah, and great coverage by the punting unit for the Hawks. They were all down there after the punt was hit, and it was 5 versus 1. Nothing Hummer could do.
So Colleyville will take it over on offense. Jerry Edwards said he knows this Red Oak team was going to be hungry, especially after they were up by double digits last year and lost the ball game. They were going to come. Their season opener happens to be senior night for them as well. He knew they were going to come with a little bit of vengeance on their mind as Des Bryant Jr. makes the grab on the near side. Clock continues to wind. He stays in bounds, but the first reception for the sophomore.
Yep, his first reception, and many more to come in his young career. He's going to be a big part of this football team.
Des Bryant Jr., his first reception for the sophomore. Now Bodey Weaver rolls out, looks down the field. He's going to run it himself and get out of bounds, along with picking up the first down. Now just under 2 minutes to go.
He was just short. They're not going to give him the first down.
He had the ball stretched out as he was going out of bounds, but official says he stepped out just shy of it. So Bodey Weaver and Colleyville facing a third and just 1 yard to go.
It is a 3rd and 1, but at this point in the game, there's no margin for error. So they have to pick this up. You don't want to face a 4th down. Okay, they're going to talk about it now. I thought it was a first down. I thought it was clear, but they spotted him short. Now they're going to talk about it. He should get the first down. Let's see what the referees decide.
Looks like they're going to keep the spot just from initial indication. They are having a discussion. They're also having a discussion because it looks like a timeout perhaps was called on the other side. Obviously, no review, no goal line technology that we have that's being introduced at higher levels of football. But either way, 3rd and 1, yes, you have to pick it up, but also you don't have the luxury of we're going to go to our 3rd and 1 package.
Yeah, you
We're
can't.
not running up the middle
Nope.
here. If you're Colleyville, that's not the idea. They're going to take a deep shot. If 4th and 1 comes and they have to get something, I think that's what they do, but they can't just settle for a yard and keep the drive going because there's 1:53 left and you're down by 9.
Yep.
Bodey Weaver is going to just take it himself, and he gets wrestled forward. He does pick up the first down, but the clock continues to move. Stops for a moment as the chains move. But a minute 43 and counting as Bodey Weaver looks down the field, throws it over the middle. Intended target there was Trevi Preicha coming in to make the play. Desmond Cox, the linebacker, showing his coverage skills as well. And the Memphis commit comes in and eats Trevi Preicha for the incomplete pass.
Yeah, and that time, Bodey Weaver, he's just looking for a big play. Time is kind of running out. He's looking for something and just overshot him on that play.
Bodey Weaver to Preicha again. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by Red Oak. Running down the sideline all the way to the end zone there, Amari Edinburgh. But it's an incomplete pass as Preicha was ruled to not have the full possession and just an incompletion instead. Although Amari Edinburgh is rushing down the sideline like he had something special. Instead, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was a violent hit, though.
Definitely applying the big hit stick on the Preicha. He's paid the price on the last 2 routes he's ran. One from Cox, one there from Edinburgh, and now a throw over the middle, and it's complete. And another big-time hit. Landon Dressel loses the ball, and this time it looks like it's picked up by Red Oak. So back-to-back big-time hits. The Red Oak defense comes to play, forcing the fumble and recovering it. Desmond Cox with a massive hit stick, and Red Oak picks it up. They turn over Colleyville on what looked like a promising reception initially for Landon Dressel moving up the field. The big hit by Desmond Cox and the fumble recovery afterwards. Looks like it'll just seal this ball game up.
Yeah, we got a big chunk that we needed. It was looking a little interesting where we could get in the field goal range, kick a field goal real quick, kick an onside kick, try to get the ball back, and hey, who knows what happens after that. But unfortunately, it was a huge hit that led to a fumble, and I just hope everything is okay.
Cannot see who is down on the field with the crowd around. But Red Oak, their defense really coming up big, and Desmond Cox, a commit to Memphis, coming off a year when he had 145 tackles and 15 tackles for loss. He's made plays left and right tonight. Couple of really tough linebackers to deal with alongside Courtney Gordon. And the last 3 passes, I mean, really big hits. Cox applied a hit. And then another ball you thought was a fumble by Amari Edinburgh, picking up that ball. They said it wasn't complete on Trevi Preicha. And then Landon Dressel, a big hit. I mean, these are some hard-hitting guys in the 2nd and 3rd levels of this defense. And for Colleyville, made out that it was the man, Landon Dressel, who had the reception, Trammell, and he's been solid. He's been very active. He's punted the ball away 7 times. He's made a 38-yard field goal. And right there, also utilized as a weapon on offense, cutting over the middle. He just gets hit extremely hard, and now he's making his way to the sideline. So we're hoping and wishing for all the best for Landon Dressel as the senior wide receiver, kicker, punter makes his way off to the sideline after really just paying a massive price on he was absolutely blown up, and there was nothing he could do there. As soon as he caught it, he had a few steps to stride. He obviously had the possession because they ruled the fumble, but he just gets blown up in a pretty violent hit right over the middle by Desmond Cox. And Dressel, of course, shaken up, so hoping that he is indeed okay. As Red Oak did recover the fumble, they now have the football with just a minute and 11 seconds left.
Yeah, it was nothing he could do on that play. He didn't see it coming. Huge hit, like you said. He paid the price. I hope he's okay. He looked a little hobbled. He got some help off the field, but he's a jack of all trades. He kicks in the special teams, plays receiver. He's a key piece to this football club.
So Red Oak with the ball. They have it at the 45, but they'll just take a couple knees and call this one a ball game. Colleyville does have one timeout remaining, and they're going to burn it here. Although the clock continues to move, so they'll put time back on the clock, and they wind it for the timeout, of course, with the 60-second timeout in the works for Colleyville. However, just about a minute to go. Colleyville now out of timeouts. And they're going to come up on the short side of this one, Trammell. Red Oak coming into this game, a big story was they coughed it up last year. Colleyville came from behind. Red Oak didn't afford Colleyville that same opportunity this year. They had some chances, ball back, 5 to go, with a chance to make something happen. Had the big reception to Connor Supacasey. Of course, the late turnover will put it in the coffin, but at the end of the day, Red Oak started to find their groove, but it's the offense that was unable to produce consistent pressure, and this Red Oak defense is the biggest winner in this ball game, in my book, Trammell.
Oh, for sure, and our defense is almost there too. We just gave up some big plays on those last couple of drives, which kind of put the ball game out of hand, and while we're down 9 right now. But yes, that Red Oak defense, they are the biggest winners. This is the best defensive front that Colleyville is going to see the entire regular season. Now, we'll see later on into the postseason, but during the regular season, during district play, there is nobody as lethal as this front 4 or this front 7 that the Hawks defense had.
A 5A D1 opponent to start off the year, a 7-win team from last year, a motivated, hungry team with plenty of talent. It was showcased tonight, coming to Red Oak, and they're going to come out winning this ball game 20-11. One final knee will put it in the books, and the Colleyville Heritage Panthers will have an opportunity to come home to Mustang Panther Stadium next week. They'll take on another very formidable opponent, a team that put together a winning season a year ago, and another opponent from the 5A D1 ranks before they jump into district play at 5A D2 the following week against the Colony. But Colleyville loses this one 20-11. They will welcome Richland to Mustang Panther Stadium coming up next week. The Royals come to Grapevine to Mustang Panther Stadium to take on the Colleyville Heritage Panthers next week, but that puts it in the books for this one tonight. 20-11, the final score. Colleyville loses to Red Oak here in the season opener, but they'll be back at it for the home opener against Richland before they get into district play the following week. Trammell, final thoughts on this matchup? Colleyville loses it 20-11, coming 9 points shy in the season opener here at Red Oak.
There were some positive things to take from this. Like I said in the beginning of the game, whoever the loser was in this game, they have nothing to hang their heads down about, because these are two great football clubs, and they're going to make some deep playoff runs down the line.
For our executive producer, Trey Bell, our entire crew, and Trammell Jeffers, I'm Will Counterly saying so long from Red Oak. Colleyville falls in the season opener 20-11. Be sure to join us next week as Colleyville welcomes Richland to Mustang Panther Stadium for the home opener. We'll see you next week.